Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Welcome to the Wacky Wednesday studio here live from San Antonio, Texas. And I'd like to welcome, if this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. We have another amazing night for you. Good 2 hours of just some good interview, good conversation with one of the young guns of the music that I love and the music that I grew up with. So, but yeah, welcome to the show, man. I really enjoy you guys tuning in. It means a lot to me. And I've had it's been a pretty boring week, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? There hasn't really been, I haven't really been watching the news too much. Just been rolling with the flow and just working and whatnot. So, but enough of the boring stuff, man. Mm-hmm. My special guest tonight has been in the works for some time, for quite some time, and I finally got him. And just as he promised me, here he is. He's live tonight in the Wacky Wednesday studio in person, not remoted in. Isaias.
How you doing, Bumper?
Welcome, man. Welcome. Thank you for driving over here and coming to hang out with me, bro. I appreciate it.
I was in the neighborhood.
Hey, when I called you, you were like, I'm only like 5 minutes from your house. I'm like, okay, bro. Come on, bro.
Hey, we got to send a shout out to Eloy because I heard through the grapevine that he said I was going to be late. So there was a bet, I think. There was a bet made between Mr. Bumper and Eloy. So you got to pay up, man. You know, I don't know who you think I am.
Eloy, and he was here before 7, bro. Before 7 o'clock. So yeah, you're gonna have to pay up, brother. But no, man, thank you guys for tuning in. It's gonna be a great night. I have one of the young guns. Are you okay with me calling you a young gun? He says yes.
I'm only 12.
He's only 12. So to all the ladies watching the show tonight, he's only 12 years old. No, he says, "Can I ask you how old are you?"
I'm 24.
24 years old. What was I doing at 20? Man, I don't even want to think about what I was doing when I was 24 years old.
Something serious.
But no, I when I first reached out to you, man, you know, I met you a few times at some of the gigs, and yes, we had great conversation. Your dad, your whole family, man. You come from a long line of musicians, and I just think that what you're doing, I love it, dude. And the reason that I love it is because when I say young gun, I mean, there's not a lot of young people in that genre of music. Yeah. So, and when I say genre, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit because we got viewers from all over the United States, all over the world, really. We got people that always watch from Okinawa, from Australia, always tuning in. So, a shout out already to my mom. She's going to be mad because she wanted me to upload a picture that she took with you, and I forgot.
You didn't put it. It's okay. Next time.
Next time. What's up?
We got it next time.
Shout out to Joey. Joey Jams is watching. Shout out there to Alice, Texas, in the house.
Hasta Seguin.
Oh, Seguin. Well, he's from Seguin, but
he lives in Alice.
He's a coyote, bro. He's a coyote. But no, what I was saying, bro, is that, you know, what's crazy is that when I say you're a young gun in Tejano music, bro, you really are. Like, you don't see too many young people playing this genre of music anymore. It's really changed. Yeah. I'm a real believer that, you know, Tejano is. Before I say that, what's comfortable for Isaias? I won't even say Masizzo. Isaias, what would you consider your music? Do you consider yourself Tejano?
It's
a good mix.
I can put it. Yeah, it's a mix. Somos Tejanos. Somos Tejanos porque somos de Texas. But it's a mix between más norteño because of our roots, where we come from, the style that we learned from Ramon Ayala and my grandpa as well, because my grandpa and all my tios, his brothers, they had a band from the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, they've always had a band called Los Truenos de Texas.
Yeah.
And they were more norteño. So our roots come more from norteño music. We've always liked Tejano, of course. You know, we like all kinds and all styles of music. But our style is best considered, I think, norteño Tejano. The Tejano for the reason being that we are in Texas, you know what I mean? We can't get away from that. And but we do play more norteño music, type music.
I would agree with that. I would agree. So before I say Tejano, then so Tejano / norteño music. You're a young gun, bro. So you don't really see too many young people in this genre of music. You know, I would say the average age probably of a norteño Tejano artist right now that's booming. Probably the average age is probably in the mid 40s. Yeah, I would say mid 40s, maybe
anywhere from 35 to 60.
To 60, yeah. I mean that's the nature of the beast. I mean that's the music from back when. But dude, let me tell you, bro. When I first heard you sing, I think one of the first times I saw you really sing was at the Tejano Fanfare.
Okay.
Tejano Fanfare maybe 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
Okay, Joey wasn't there then.
Joey was not a drummer yet.
Okay, then it was... Yeah, I think it was under... If I'm not mistaken, it was under the bridge?
No, the one I saw you were in the street.
Okay, it was the next year then.
So when I saw you, man, me and my wife, we are huge Masizzo fans. We are big time Masizzo fans, and the reason we're big time Masizzo fans because that was the first CD that my wife had ever given me was a Masizzo CD.
Oh wow!
So
do you remember which one?
It has Ingrata Suerte in there.
M3. The black one.
The black one.
The black one. Yeah.
No. Which is the one with like the tannish?
The tan. That's the first one. That one's La Otra Mitad.
La Otra Mitad. That's the one. That's the one she gave me. It was
Ahí
that
viene
one.
Te quiero tanto, fingido amor por tu capricho, juntos para siempre, hasta el final. Those songs right there.
So Isaias, when I seen you up there, and me and my wife were like, "Yo, who is this guy? This is not Albert.
That's Gerardo
That's not
Ortiz.
Brian. Right? Hey, that's a lot of people think that you look like Gerardo Ortiz. I even saw that it was like a special. Somebody had
man,
put you. You were like,
we actually got, and that's thanks to my brother, man, who's here right now.
Shout out to Israel.
Shout
in
out.
The house.
He because he helps me run my Twitter and all my other social media, but he really helps me with the Twitter because I suck at Twitter. I don't understand. He gets mad at me because I tweet some things sometimes. So, you know, it's that type of relationship when it comes to the Twitter. He tweeted a picture of a photo shoot that we did, and it agarró vuelo. A bunch of chicks, a bunch of girls started putting, yo pensé que era Gerardo Ortiz. He looks like Gerardo Ortiz. You know, is it him? It's like, so a bunch of people started retweeting it. Uh-huh. And a good friend of ours, Lupita Elizondo from Houston, saludos para ella, she works with Primer Impacto. And she liked the story. So we actually got an interview and everything. And thank you to her and thank you to everybody from Primer Impacto because it was a story. And we were able to talk about the fact that how I look like him, how we're coming out with new music. And there was even in the works an interview with me and him getting together. They were getting that ready. So
he did see the video. He has seen it. Okay.
He saw the interview. He saw the pictures and everything. And he had talked to Lupita. So there was something in the works where we were going to get together. No más que pasó la pandemia.
Yeah.
So everything started happening. That's when things started closing. Things started, shutting down. They stopped certain things. So that was halted.
I think right before the pandemic hit, man, you guys are already spinning, bro.
Yeah,
it was getting
barely starting to get,
the hands were rolling, getting hot. I'm sure dates were coming in, and it was like, man, we're gonna hit this year big. And it's across the board, bro. Across the board. Other artists I've spoke to, everybody's in the music business. They're hurting, man. Yeah. They're hurting real bad. So I'm glad I get to do things like this.
Yeah, man.
And still bring the fans to get to see you. Hey, they're still alive. They're still kicking. They're still here. They're still doing their thing. So, I just, again, I want to thank you. I can't believe that you're actually here in the studio.
Oh, man, al contrario, man. This is an opportunity for me that I've been wanting. We've been talking for a while, so we were finally able to say, okay, let's do it this date. We did it, and this is fun, man. We're friends. I want to tell y'all a story about Bumper. Whenever we had a bad blowout, we were on the way back from somewhere, I forgot where, but we were in the bus. We had a bad blowout right in the front driver's side tire. We were stuck on the side of the road. It was a bad situation. The bus almost flipped. The guy that went to go get us was this guy right here. He saved the day, and since then he's been there more than once, more than on a lot of occasions helping us out. And like I said, this is an honor for me, man, to be able to do this with you, for you, to come on the show, and thank you for the opportunity. Man.
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that dude, my wife hadn't made huevo rancheros in a long time, bro. She had just put that plate in front of me, and Eloy calls. I didn't even finish my plate. I was gone, bro. Like, literally, I put all my stuff. I said, man, let me, because you're out in West Texas, bro. There's nothing out. Yeah, there's nothing out going that way. But he says, so let's talk a little bit about you, man. I know you're the lead vocalist for Grupo Masizzo, and that's great, But I want the viewers to get to know the 24-year-old Isaias Ramirez. What goes through your head? What are you thinking? How so. Where were you born? Let's start with that, right? Where were you
here
born?
In San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, I don't know what hospital, but I know I was born here. I was born January 2nd, 1995 at 10:22 in the morning. My mother is Elisa Ramirez. Hi, Mommy. Love you. Hope you're watching. Father, Albert Ramirez, Jr. And yeah, I'm the first of 4 siblings.
He knows what time he was born, bro. Who does that, dude? That's crazy. No, man. So you were born here in San Antonio. Where did you go to high school at?
So I went to high school. Okay, I was born in San Antonio. I grew up in Dilley, Texas, which is about an hour south on 35, right in the middle of Laredo and San Antonio, right in the middle. So I grew up there. We actually moved up here to San Antonio for a good year and a half, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how long it was. My mom was going to school. My dad was with Intocable at the time. So we lived up here for a while. And then we moved back to Dilley. And yeah, I spent most of my time in Dilley. I went to Dilley High School. Mary Harper Middle School is the name of the middle school. Dilley Elementary School. So all my levels, I went through Dilley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, and if you ever drive through Dilley, you got to stop.
Well,
you want to plug it or what? No.
I'll do ours. The one in Pearsall.
Pearsall. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Pearsall,
we
Dilley.
do have 2 restaurants. We do have 2 restaurants.
You do?
Yeah, because there's one in Dilley as well.
Oh, shit.
In Pearsall,
I didn't know
in
that.
Pearsall, we have Garcia's Bar and Grill, and that's our main restaurant right now. In Dilley, right off of 35, we have Pacho Garcia's Cafe, which that's the first restaurant that my great-grandpa started. Right now, that's being run by my aunt, but we're actually gonna move in there. What is it? November 2022, 11/22.
So you're gonna have 2 booming, ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir.
So if you stop in Pearsall, I'm gonna tell you right now, I drive from San Antonio all the way to Pearsall to go get a steak. I'm not even exaggerating. I throw my friends in there. I had my buddy. He moved here from Chicago. My boy Chano, and he's like, where are we going, bro? I said, bro, just get in the car. You're not driving. Let's go. So we drove, and then we kept driving. We were going down south, right? And he's like, bro, where's this restaurant at, dog? I don't see nothing no more. We pulled into Pearsall, and when we left, he's like, bro, that's one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life.
Thank you, man.
So
recommend the steaks, enchiladas, and burgers. Got the best burgers in town, voted by the people in Pearsall.
I like the fried pickles, dog.
Yeah, the fried pickles.
The fried pickles were
good way to start.
We're bumping.
Real good way to start. No.
So, Isaias, when you were in high school, bro, were you already were you in band or were you in sports? Like, what was your deal?
Well, I'll go back a little bit. In middle school, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. My parents bought me a bass whenever I was 8 years old, and I actually started playing at 8 the bass, which I consider that my first instrument. I started off learning songs from Motown, songs like from Billy Joel, from Cheap Trick, songs that my dad he showed me the right songs for a reason. You know what I mean? He was showing me the types of songs that I should learn to start off with. So I started off on the bass as a kid. In middle school, I did want to try out band, but I don't know how to read music. And I know Mario talked about that too.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of music, but not norteño tejano
No,
genre.
all over the spectrum.
All over the spectrum. There's people who they can hear something, they can pick
figure
up
it
a
out.
guitar and boom, boom, boom. And you're like, yo.
Yeah.
But you put a sheet of music on them, they'll be like, here you go, man.
Yeah, give me about a day and I'll maybe figure it out. But I don't know how to read music. And so I went in first thinking I could learn. I want to learn, it's a good thing to know. I wanted to play saxophone. So they had I wanted to play saxophone. They had everybody try out on the reed. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I did it wrong because they didn't give me the saxophone. What they ended up doing was giving me the xylophone because the second thing I had signed up for was percussion. Yeah. So xylophone, como quiera, it takes notes. And I don't know how to read notes. So I actually did a full year on the xylophone. So
Without reading music?
Without reading music. The way I would do it is I would get the sheet. Okay, I'd figure out that note is here. Next one here. So then I would learn the pattern and then I would learn the song like that for concerts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
So after that first year, which that was in 5th grade, in 6th grade, they actually moved me to snare. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted to play percussion, like that type of percussion.
Right.
So they moved me on snare. I was there for maybe a couple months. And then they took me off and put another kid. So then I said, no, and put me back on xylophone. So I said, no, I'm not going to do this. So I quit.
They took him out of first chair, bro.
Yeah.
The first chair, he got fired.
So after that, I wasn't in band anymore. I decided, okay, and another thing I forgot to mention, 6th grade year, that year, I actually got a real bad injury on my knee playing football. On the very first play of the first game of the year, on the kickoff return. Because we decided to return. They kicked it, but it was an onside kick. I got the ball, ran maybe 5 yards, so I had some stats that year. Ran maybe 5 yards, and then I planted, and boom, right on my kneecap. So I was out. That happened 6th grade year. I didn't play football till 8th grade year. And I played football up until my sophomore year, which I got hurt again.
And you're like, I'm done.
The same knee on the first game of it wasn't the first play this time, but it was the first game of the year. So after that, I decided, I don't know if I'd rather put, my focus on studying, on music, playing the bass more, doing whatever I was doing when it came to music. When I turned 16, because Masizzo was still going throughout that whole time.
Right.
Masizzo's been through a lot of stages. So at around that stage, there were my uncle Brian, which he's the bass player.
Right.
He actually moved to Minnesota with his ex-wife and his kids. They moved over there, and so Masizzo didn't have a bass player. I was given about a 6-day notice from my dad. So he gave me, and I had been listening to the songs. You know what I mean? I'm listening to the songs since I was a kid, so I have to know it. You know what I mean? If I'm able to play these other songs since I was 9, I got to figure it out. So he gave me about a week notice. I'll give it a week. And we had a show. I was 16 years old. My first show was in Beeville, Texas. So
stop.
Yep.
Shout out to Beeville, Texas, my hometown.
Beeville,
Dude,
Texas.
that's awesome, bro. At the Grand. That's crazy, bro.
That was my first show officially as a music member of Masizzo, because I had been around, but they had me as a roadie. They had me as,
go do this, go do that.
Yeah,
plug this in, plug this
exactly. So I've climbed up the ranks. You can say that, más o menos.
That's wild, man. So your first instrument was the bass.
The bass.
Isaias, can you remember when your dad was playing with Itong Cable? Like when
I don't.
You were still
too little.
Young.
There's pictures, but I don't. I don't. What's it called? Remember actually him playing. The earliest I can remember of maybe him playing like with a band, which is Masizzo. I don't know.
99?
Maybe 99, yeah. But yeah. I don't remember the gigs. You know what I mean? I remember him coming home because he would be gone. He would be gone for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, and then he would come back. So that's what I remember more than anything. But when I turned about maybe 10, around that time, whenever I started learning the bass, I actually started going to the gigs, hanging out more with my dad, with my uncle, and the other musicians. So I want to say maybe at around 9, 10 years old, that's whenever I started to be around actual musicians.
But I mean, like you said though, since you were born though,
Yeah.
you're. It's like I put in the preview, right? You come from a long line of musicians, man. So it's just natural that you're gonna be able to pick something up, and you know that your dad taught you the bass and he taught you all those things. When he gave you, can you remember the first time that they said, "Hey, Isaias, we're gonna need you to sing, man"?
Yes.
Do you remember where you were at when they told you that?
Yes. Okay. The first time I sang, it wasn't out of necessity. But I will say this. I remember since I was maybe around 15 years old, I used to just joke around singing. My mom would say, Cuito, because they call him Cuito, my dad, that's his nickname. He can't sing. You got to tell him. He can't sing. That he has to stop.
Your abuelita was saying that?
No, my mom.
Oh, your
my
mom?
mom would say it. And I love you, mommy, but you know that's true. So she would say that. And everybody else, Israel would make fun of me too, you know. But the thing, I was just messing around. But I used to tell my dad, I can sing. And I remember we were at a show. Israel was there too. I forgot where it was. It was a quinceañera. I remember the girl's name was Jordan because the logo for the quince was the Jordan symbol.
Right.
So I'll tell you another thing about that show too. But I told him I can sing. So he told me, okay, sing this song. And it was Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles. It was playing, right? And as soon as the voice started, I sang maybe the first couple words. He said, no, you're not singing right. So I used to say, you know, I can sing. And it wasn't until my grandpa, Cuyo, shout out to Cuyo, he was the one that told my dad, este sí puede cantar, because he heard me singing the segunda to Tragos Amargos.
I heard this somewhere, and I can't remember where, but I heard this story. Where Cuyo was like, hey, you know, your son can carry a note.
Yeah.
He
We
had
were
said
actually
something like that.
on the way back from somewhere. I remember it was me, my grandpa was in front of me, and I think it was my uncle Isaac was next to me. And I was singing along to the radio, and that song came on, so I was doing the segunda. And I think it was after that he told my dad. Oh, and another about that show, the quinceañera, that show, like I said, I was a roadie first, right? So we ended up going in our family's vehicle, it was a Suburban at the time. So I loaded up my dad's accordions. It was me, Israel, and my dad, and I think maybe my Uncle Brian. I think maybe Brian went with us. We get there. There was another band playing. My dad tells me, get the accordions. So I go to the back, open up the trunk. I get the case, and I open it. There's no accordions. So I was like, son of a bitch. What did I do? And I must have been like 13, 14 years old. So
you had one job. You say
I know. I had one job. But it's like, you know, I guess you live and you learn. You know, the case did feel light after I thought about it, but I didn't, you know, check it while I was loading it up. So there was like maybe 20 minutes to showtime. Thankfully, I don't remember the band. I don't remember who it was that was playing, but they had an accordion in fa, which that is the main accordion for my dad. Mm-hmm. So he was able to play, you know.
So did you have to cut him a little on the side, like, hey, bro, let's borrow your accordion? They were cool enough to be.
I think it was my dad that asked. But
hey, man,
I didn't get paid that night. I know that for sure.
I would have loved to have been there to see your face when you have to face your dad and tell him, hey, man, we got the cases, but we ain't got the accordions.
I told him, there's no accordion. Like, what do you mean? I guess I forgot that. I don't know. They're not in the case. I don't remember what happened after that. I was too sad.
Oh, man. That's
I was
crazy.
A kid, you know.
Isaias,
Dime.
You have a voice, dude, that it's natural. It sounds, I've heard you in like different tones, kind of an acapella. I got a video I'll play a little bit later. Mm-hmm. But do you think, like, where are we at right now? You have something that maybe you want to, maybe just like one song, just so people can hear your. We'll do more than one song, man. But just so people know that, hey, he is here. He's in the studio, and so you guys can hear a little bit of his voice. Shout out to my boy Nasty Nell from he's watching from Honolulu, Hawaii. What's up, Nell? Hope everybody's let's go through these, bro. We missed somebody, they might get mad. Shout out to Garcia's Bar, to Mr. Vasquez, Gumaro Vasquez, and
shout out to Bajo Sextos Vega.
Yeah, Bajo Sextos Vega right here.
Future sponsor of the show.
They are sponsoring Wacky Wednesday tonight. Bajo Sextos, what are they? Vega. Okay, cool.
What song should I sing?
Man, you know what? Shoot. You know what? Let's see. I'm gonna
You know what? How about I do La No Digas Que No? That's
the new. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
This is the first song I recorded as the vocalist of Masizzo. Se llama No Digas Que No. Composiciones de Wences Romo. Saludos a mi compadre. I hope he's watching. Hope he's good. Everything good over there in Monterrey. So let's go. Okay. Let's go. I haven't played it in like 10 months, so. Here we go. Quiero ser el que con besos te despiertan las mañanas, el que te abraza antes de que suene la alarma, el que te hace travesuras en la cama. Quiero ser el que te lleva de la mano a todas partes, el que se ríe de las bromas que tú haces y en el que tú puedes confiar sin que te falle. No digas que no, se te notan los ojitos que te gustó, que quieres rozar mis labios con los tuyos y que sueñas con el día en que estemos juntos. No digas que no, tienes ganas de ser algo más que amigos, que tus sueños se fusionen con los míos. No te va a faltar amor, cariño mío, y no digas que no.
Dang, bro, I don't have HD cameras, but if I did, you could see the chills on my arms, bro. Wow.
Is that the panty dropper right there?
That is. This is a kid show, but that is a panty dropper.
Is that a kid show? I'm sorry.
So
mute it. Put it on mute.
No, man, that song was, dude, that's freaking awesome, bro. To all the viewers, man, if you have a certain Masizzo song that you really love, I might not get to all of them, right? Because I really want to get to know Isaias a little more. I'm sure there's not a song that he doesn't know. Right there on the spot right away. Hold up, bro. I can put the words,
I can figure it out. I'll figure it out. Hey, I'll make up my own words, man. I'll make up my own words.
So, yeah, man. What an amazing song, dude. Amazing voice, bro. I
want to send a shout out to Wences, man. Sorry to cut you off.
No, dale.
Because that's the first song that I recorded, man, and it's always gonna be very, very, very. I can't explain how special it's gonna be to me because it started off the beginning of my career as a singer, as an artist, as a singer for Masizzo. And he believed in me, you know what I mean? Wences, he was able to bring that to the table, and we were able to execute correctly, I believe. And I wanted to say thank you to Wences, thank you to everybody with Only Music as well. They helped us with the video in Monterrey. Shout out to Estrella, the girl that came out in the video. We still talk every now and then. And yeah, man, thank you to everybody that was a part of that experience, the recording and then the video as well, because it started everything off for me, man. And I believe it's a great song. I think it's a song that will forever stay. Dude. And as long as we keep doing songs like that, you know, with our heart and staying true to what it is that we like, to what it is that we know that we're, you know, where we come from, I think we can keep pulling songs out like that.
Yeah, no, dude. I you know, the song is amazing, dude. What I love about listening to you live, dude, is that some people, if you put them on the spot to sing, and I'm not mentioning no names, right? I'm not gonna throw anybody in the bus, but there's some people that are just studio singers for real. Like they go in the studio, they when the finished product comes out, they sound good. But if you on the spot give them a guitar or give them a bajo and say, "Hey man, play me this song," sometimes you leave scratching your head like, "Hey, is that the same guy who sang that song?" But I'm gonna tell you right now, funny. Being right next to you and hearing that song, bro, it gave me chills, bro.
Thank you, man.
Your voice was on point. It
well,
was.
believe it or not, man, it's actually Israel that recorded it. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say.
I didn't know you believe me, man. No, but
Well,
hey,
he
man,
sings. He sings.
Man,
I've seen some of the YouTube videos where you guys are.
I'm trying to get him to understand that he can sing, and he knows he can. Every time that I'm working on a project and I'll have my voice done and everything, like the instruments, he's like, "Hey, record me now." So I have a few demos, which he won't let me play them. But he can sing, man.
Israel, in 3 months you'll be here on Wacky Wednesday, right there, baby.
Lo único que le falta es esto, is Spanish. That's the only thing that he needs is he understands it, but he just we're what, third generation Americans,
but you're
second generation. We're second generation Americans, and así es, you know what I mean. Hay raza que aprendan y hay unos que no. Israel knows, my whole family knows, no más que in school, that's where it gets you, you know what I mean? Like in Delhi, it was English all the way.
But for viewers watching the music, and this is your first time listening to any kind of music like this, right? Like what's weird about our genre of music is that if you listen to a radio station, you're going to hear the people talking like me.
Yeah.
Like you say, right? We're going to be talking in English, but then when they play the music, it's in Spanish. What's crazy here in Texas is, man, it's like most raza, they all understand Spanish.
Yes.
Right? But the minute you tell them to answer you back in Spanish, they look at you like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up the same way. I really learned my Spanish through music, honestly. I worked at a dry cleaners one time, and it was all raza. So that's where I really learned to speak, a little more fluently.
Yeah.
And same thing now with my brothers and sisters. I think I'm the only one that speaks, pretty fluent Spanish. So you can speak fluent. 'Cause you're not like Selena, right, bro?
No, yo sí puedo hablar.
You're not going to be 14 tonight.
No más que, para mí lo que pasó es esto. My first language was actually.
Hold on, I think they just dropped us. Hold on, bro. I think are we still on the thing?
Oh yeah, I did.
Man, something happened. It did this last week too, man. God dang it.
It's okay. We'll share it. I'll share it again.
Oh man. Let's see. See if it comes back on. We're back. Again, Spectrum Internet does me dirty, bro. One of the biggest shows that I've ever had, and Spectrum has done me dirty. Sorry about that, guys. We'll just chit chat a little bit, and we'll get everybody back on. We're getting our viewers back on, I believe.
Go ahead and share again.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So hopefully we get some viewers back on here.
Oh yeah. Oro.
No, I don't know what the heck's going on, bro. Like this is the second week in a row that we get cut off, man. That's crazy. Isaias,
Dime.
What do you miss that now that with COVID going on? What's the one thing you miss about being on the road?
The road, just I'm not gonna say lifestyle because it's not necessarily. It's not rock stars or like musicians or pop stars or anybody at any level, people that are working, it's a job, it's a job. And then of course, when it's your passion, it doesn't seem like a job, but it's a job. You're not just hanging out, doing nothing, which you do that while you're driving, but
right.
Even at that, you can still be productive, which most people are, the smart people are. You got to get up early. Sometimes you got to do interviews. You go to sleep at 3, 4 in the morning, get up by 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, sleeping 2, 3 hours to do an interview. And I got to do something like that, like sing, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that most people won't understand and won't, that's a good word, is understand, unless you're actually there seeing what it is that we have to do in order to get to, we're playing over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's promotion, it's interviews, it's getting set lists ready, it's practice. We don't practice much. That I will say, we don't do that at all. Actually, we've practiced maybe since Joey got in, we've practiced maybe 3 times. So that's a part that we just seem to not do.
That's crazy, bro. So you guys can just sit around, like pick up an instrument and be like, just pick off right where you left off. Like,
well, for the most part, yeah. For the most part, yeah.
I could see, and no offense to you, but I could see Joey doing that. I could see your dad doing that. I could see your tío doing that because
the experience.
They've been doing that for a long time. I mean, they Joey picks up the drumsticks and he's at it, really, really quick. But
you don't see me doing that. I'm just kidding.
Can you?
Man. Yeah, the thing is, it's more. You see. Oh, sorry.
It's
Be
all
quiet,
good.
Bumper. Be quiet.
It's all good.
The thing is, like you said, you can see those people. I've had those types of people around me my whole life. So it was really up to me to be able to learn from those people. You know what I mean? And I did for the most part, but especially from my dad. I learned, and I continue to learn. It's a never ending. How can I put it? Lesson, if I want to put it like that, from my dad, because not just in music, man, in every avenue. My dad, I can speak so much on my dad because he's been, nobody's perfect, but he's been very, very close because he's a great, great husband, great father, great mentor, great teacher, great at everything. You know what I mean? Same thing with my mom. I've been extremely blessed with the parents that we've been extremely blessed with the parents that we have, because we've been shown, my dad's side, which it's like street smart, off the brain, just out of nowhere. And then my mom's side, which is like, she went to Galen College for nursing and she was on the president's list every single semester. And it's because she has that dedication to what it is that she's doing. She's an RN. And, she has that side of it. You know what I mean?
Man, you have hardworking parents, bro.
Very much. My mom is the hardest working woman I've ever seen. And a lot of people can say, everybody says that about their mom or their wife.
Right.
But I can say that with the full heart, knowing that my mom is, one of the hardest working women. I can't say it anymore. that I've ever seen. And I appreciate every little thing that they've done for me, especially for my siblings as well. And going back to being able to just pick up an instrument and not necessarily playing the way it should go, but figuring it out along my path, the way I was taught. And it's pretty much a correct way of playing. My dad taught me very well. My uncle taught me a lot on the bajo. I didn't start playing bajo till I was 17, 18.
For my American viewers, bajo means bass.
Well, the bajo is actually bajo sexto. That's what I'm
talking
about.
When you said bajo.
Bajo means bass.
Yes.
Yeah. They use bajo in Spanish as bass. So bajo sexto, I am messing up. It's bajo sexto, bajo quinto. So I didn't start playing bajo sexto, bajo quinto till I was 17. And I never did I ever think that I could play it, because I would see Brian play it, you know, and I would see the other lead singer that was part of Masizzo as well, Matthew, which I was around him a lot, play it as well. And I never thought I could figure it out. And it's actually a lot easier than I thought. Guitar's a lot harder. It really is, because it seems like there's a lot of strings on there.
There's 12 strings on that son of a gun.
10? Yeah. But if you understand how to play the instrument, it's really 4. Because you're just going to use the bottom 2 most of the time.
The other ones are just for show?
The other one, not necessarily for show, but for accompaniment. You know what I mean? You can do licks. You can, do little fills here and there. Like sometimes there's actual intros. Like a lot of intros from Masizzo are on those top strings. You know what I mean? So, but most of the time, it's going to be those bottom 4 strings.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Dime.
Who's the greatest bajo sexto player in the Tejano Norteño? And you're not hurting nobody's feelings. But here's I'm going to clear it up for you. Go. In Isaias' in your mind, that doesn't.
My favorite?
Right there you go. That would be easier to say your favorite. What would be your favorite?
Eliseo Robles.
Hands down.
Yeah. He's my number 1. Eliseo Robles. He beats and I didn't get into it, but there was and I'll go ahead and say this story. My dad me and Brian were having a conversation about that. We were talking, and I said, Eliseo's my number one. And he said, what? What's the matter with you? You should be Cornelio Reina.
Right.
Which he's considered by probably most people as
Godfather.
the number one.
Yeah, he's a godfather.
He was flashy. He was agile. He was quick. He was the first one to play like that, really. But for style, I like Eliseo better because of the way he plays. It's more, I hear it tougher. You know what I mean? Even though lo que hace Cornelio es a la madre, pero para mí Eliseo is my number one because I learned more listening to Bravos with Eliseo. Oh yeah, and going back to that conversation we had, so that question right there was asked by my dad, who's number one? Brian said Cornelio. I said Eliseo. My dad was like, why Eliseo? The same thing. And that question got back to Ricky from Intocable. It got back to Johnny. It got back to other musicians as well, los de Johnny Arreola from Palominos. Yeah. It got back to, other musicians.
Everybody got heard or what, dude?
No, what I mean is, like, that question was asked, and it became not like a thing, but it was
a discussion.
Yeah, a discussion between certain musicians because that is a very good question. If you put Eliseo over Cornelio, why? But Cornelio over Eliseo, yeah, that's correct. But I do have my reasons. I mean, I'm not going to speak for anybody, you know what I mean? But I know whose favorite is Eliseo's as well. It's like...
I'm going to tell you mine.
Dime.
It's not even... You didn't even mention... It's from a small little town, bro.
Isaias.
Juan P.
Oh, yeah.
Moreno.
Oh, yeah.
That
no
dude,
doubt. That
dude is freaking amazing.
Yeah. Saludos para él también.
Shout out to Juan P. Moreno if he's
guy,
out there watching.
Juan P. It's
classic.
There's a video where he's playing a huapango by himself. It looks like it's at a rancho or something. I don't know. But he plays so clean, man. The way he plays, the licks that he does, everything. And it sounds tough at the same time, but he plays I hear it so pretty. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, when he does a lick, like, por ejemplo, cuando estaba con los chamacos, it's like the licks he would do, like, you know what I mean?
Crazy, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
It had the raunchiness that it needed, that was required. So yeah, man, of course.
He has that sound though, like when you hear it, you know it's him. Like that.
Exactly.
That's his style.
Has his own. Tiene su toque.
Yes, sir. Hey, so I just want to all the people who are watching for the first time, man. I don't mean to make a first impression on you, but yeah, Spectrum. If you got Spectrum, you might think about getting somebody else for internet. Second week in a row that it's happened to me.
Well, I actually just got Spectrum for my parents.
Oh, so. That's because I got the higher one.
We were watching a football game, and my mom said, "What's the difference? It still looks ugly." So maybe we got to do something. We got to talk to Spectrum.
Isaias, you want to play another one?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Let's do what I know you played that one song, but what's your here, I'll put it to you like this. Out of all the songs that you grew up listening to,
yes,
to your dad and your tío, play your favorite song.
My favorite.
Your favorite song.
From Masizzo?
From Masizzo before Isaias joined Masizzo.
Okay, I will. Let me share this
do it,
to the
definitely.
actual page. Oh, that's not right. Let me see if I can do it. You know what? It's okay.
I think you did it earlier.
Yeah, I did it earlier, but here.
See if you can do it.
Go ahead. Yeah, see if you can do it. On the Masizzo one? Oh, let me take off the headphones. My favorite song, and I think it's actually Joey's favorite song now, too. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm tuned. I always forget what note it's on, though. That's the thing. I don't know why. Okay. It's called Nadie Como Tú. That's the name of the song. And I have a little story about this song, too, after. Because I didn't find out till last year, actually. My dad told me. It's about the accordion music. I'm pretty sure this is the song, but se llama Nadie Como Tú, and it comes out on the 100% album, the green one. Okay. Vida, quiero confesarte que cuando estás a mi lado me siento especial. y sé que nadie más me ama como tú. Yo, de mi parte, te doy mi corazón. Te entrego mi pasión, te ofrezco lo mejor porque te amo. Tú lo verás, que nada cambiará, que en mis besos sentirás el calor que en otros besos nadie más te pudo dar. En mi alma seguirás porque te amo. Tú lo verás, que nada cambiará, que en mis besos sentirás el calor que en otros besos nadie más te pudo dar. En mi alma seguirás porque te amo. That's my favorite Masizzo song right there.
Don't put it away. Don't put it away. Yo, that's when you were playing it, I kind of I was trying to remember it because that's a classic. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
You gotta flip them inside out. Those are DJs, bro. If you want to start spinning on the ones and twos, you got it. You can do with that.
I got it, guys.
Let's look here on the board. Let's see who's out here. Hey, right now, again, you're just tuning back in. Give me a song. What's your favorite Masizzo? I know what my favorite Masizzo song is.
What is it?
Is in Ingrata Suerte. That's
You wanna play?
Dale. You know what? It's mine. It's my show. I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
do a
So here
bumper
it goes.
once here.
There you go. That's it.
I'm gonna take off one side so I can hear. Here we go. Ya traté mil maneras de olvidarte y no logré arrancar de mis entrañas tu querer. Y tan solo te has clavado más en mi alma. Sé muy bien que no quieres nunca más saber de mí. No te importa que sin ti sienta morir, que no quieres escuchar explicaciones. Ingrata suerte, cómo fui a conocerte, cómo pude yo perderme en tus brazos piel a piel. Ingrata suerte, me enseñaste cómo amarte, pero no a olvidarte. Y hoy sin ti no sé qué hacer. Necesito de tu aliento, de tus besos y tu cuerpo. Necesito amanecer juntito a ti. Ahí está.
Damn, son. Dang, that was awesome, bro.
I got out of tune there.
That was so Isaias, when you you know, a lot of people don't know the whole story of Masizzo, right? And I've kind of, like, over the years, again, they're in my top 3 favorite groups of all time. And I've kind of I followed them. And I always wanted to ask, and you I don't want you to speak for your dad, but you're his son, so you would know the story, Roy. All right?
Yes.
So the first album that Masizzo made, what was the name of the album?
La otra mitad.
Okay. So La Otra Mitad, I always thought that was a rib shot at the original Grupo Intocable.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily like a rib shot. It was more so they were trying to, like, that was actually no. They wanted to call the band La Mordida, which is the bite. So it was like a part of of Intocable, but it wasn't necessarily like intended with. It didn't have bad intentions. You know what I mean? It was more so just saying we're the second half. The other half.
Because that was Johnny Lee and your dad, right?
Yes, sir.
And so when did Brian just say, "Hey, man, you know what? I mean, was Brian?"
Well, I'm gonna tell you, like, something interesting. Masizzo was already a band. Masizzo was actually Brian. It was my grandpa, and then a couple other musicians. I'm not sure if Roger, my cousin Roger, was there, which he recorded the first album on the drums, but Masizzo was already a thing. So
it was already
already a band.
Before La Otra Mitad.
Before La Otra Mitad, they hadn't necessarily recorded it. I think they recorded some stuff, but nothing ever came out. But they were already banned. They were playing there locally in Delhi, Catula, Pearsall. So what ended up happening is my dad gets out of Intocable. Johnny gets out as well, and they just thought, hey, well, let's just make a band together. Let's do it with Brian. Let's do it with Roger. So that's how it happened. They ended up getting Masizzo they became a part of Masizzo, basically. You know what I mean? But then after the fact, Masizzo turned into what Masizzo is. Am I making sense?
Yeah, Masizzo, like during that 99, 2000, 2001 time frame, they really just came from nowhere, dude. Like, and just boom, right? And it was just hit after hit after hit.
It really started because Te Quiero Tanto was the one out of the gate. That was the one that, their first hit. After that, I'm pretty sure the other songs that came out from La Otra Mitad did good, but it wasn't really until Fantasia came out, which that was on the second album, 100%, that they started, becoming a known band.
So, you being the young guy of the team, right, of the band, how much say-so do you have in the music? And Israel, he's here, and I'm sure he's around. Israel, I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
It happens all the time.
Right. I'm going to just call you Israel, dog.
There we go. Call him Izzy.
Izzy,
that's
there
his
you go.
Rapper name.
So Izzy, right? He's around you guys all the time.
Yes.
Like, how much say-so does Isaias have when it comes to, like, you know what, Dad? Chale. I don't like the way that sounds, or whatever.
But
Like,
I say so in what?
What I mean is, like, does your dad give you the look, or your tío give you the look and be like, he says, "What are you talking about, man? That sounds good." Like,
No.
how much? Like, say if you guys go to a studio to record,
Yes.
you're the lead vocalist, right? So to me, I would say that you're the quarterback of the team.
Yes.
But your dad and your tío have been doing it, and Joey, they've been doing it for a long time. They can do it with their eyes closed, upside down, standing on their head, right? How much say-so do you have when it comes to recording any new music? Or are you saying, hey, you know what, I really don't... I'm just saying, for instance, you're saying, you know what, I really didn't like that part. Maybe we should do this,
Well,
or I didn't...
That, by say-so, starting off from, like, if we're choosing songs, that's all going to fall on me. Because even if I say no, or even if I say yes, if I don't learn the song... ¿De qué sirve? You know what I mean? What's the say so for? So it falls back on me actually like, for example, if we have a song that we get sent, by a songwriter, and we like it, if I wouldn't have learned No Digas Que No acoustically, like just me and the voice and the bajo, then we don't really record it. You know what I mean? It has to sound, first off, I have to feel the song.
That's what I was saying. You have to feel it.
Yeah, I have to feel the song. And then my dad says, yeah, it fits your voice, or it doesn't, or maybe we can change it, so it can fit your voice. But it really falls back on me in the beginning. Yeah, once we're rolling, my dad and I, we get working on the music. And then, we just take it from there. Yeah,
because that's something I think people would, because you're the young, and then one, you're the nephew, you're the son, you're the... hey, he's putting the bajo up, but
just for now. It's really heavy.
He gets, and it's, hey, is it brand new?
It's brand new.
Hey, shout out, plug it in.
Shout out to Bajo Sextos Vega, Monterrey, Nuevo León, Fernando Vega, Bajo Sexto blog.
Bajo Sexto blog. There it is, right there, guys. So if you guys are looking and you're in the market to buy a new Bajo Sexto, you want to try something new, right there, hit them up. Bajo Sexto blog. Vega Bajo Sextos.
You want to know something, Bumper?
Dale.
About the way I started singing? Let me tell you how it happened. Okay, I'm going to go back to my dad. My dad, and I remember the day it happened, in 2015, January 2nd, 2015. He got a call.
This guy in dates and like times, bro. Golly. God, I mean to cut you off.
That's my birthday, too. That's what I was able to remember. But you should talk to my dad. If you talk to my dad, you're gonna freak out. He'll tell you everything, how cold it was outside, you know. So, January 2nd, 2015, my dad gets a call. Hey, you ready to gig? You ready to come back? So he got the call to go back with Intocable. So that year, I was in college at the time. I actually had to take a year off because I was helping out at the restaurant. That was the first year I can actually say I worked at our restaurant, because we've had it since 2009, but up until that point, I was just hanging out. I was a customer, you know, eating enchiladas and shit. So that year I started working. The year went by, you know, my dad ended up, you know, coming back. 2016 came around. We're really towards the end of 2015. That's when I started gigging as the singer for Masizzo. We had a few gigs. My first gig was in Delhi. It was October 4th. It was a festival for, what's it called? No, it was something for the city. It had something to do with the city. But that was my first gig in Delhi. And after that, we started, just gigging. But then my dad started saying, let's look for some material. So that's when 2016 came around. In the beginning of 2016, we found some songs. We got some songs from a songwriter. His name is Juan Treviño. Saludos para él. He's a longtime friend. Masizzo actually recorded the first song that ever got recorded by a band was by Masizzo. It was from Juan Treviño, which the song, I believe, was either Quédate or No Te Arrepentirás. It was one of those.
Quédate is a bad song.
So what happened, we started getting songs together. And spring break in March, spring break 2016, me, my dad, and then Danny Martinez, which he's the original drummer for Masizzo. He's the one that started. He started in 100%.
Shout out to Danny.
Yes, sir.
He plays with the Tex Maniacs, right?
Yeah,
dude.
He's actually not there anymore.
No, I know that, but it's a small world because I know his sister-in-law and his brother. They go to my church.
Oh, dale.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, Danny. I was like. He goes, bro, look up Masizzo. I showed him a picture. He goes, that's my brother. I'm like, oh, it is. Yeah. So shout out to Brenda. Yeah, man. So it was us three. We went to a studio, and I hear better like this. I don't know why. We went to a studio of a good friend of ours. His name's Martin Sandoval and Manuel Sandoval Jr. Saludos para ellos. Agresivo Sound Lab. So it was in Elgin, Texas. Or Elgin. How do you say it? Do you know how to say it? Elgin. Is it Elgin? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Elgin, Texas, we went out there spring break. I believe it was 3 days we were out there. We recorded 5 songs, which were No Tengo el Valor, Volé Volé, Rompecabezas. The other one was, I'm forgetting, I forgot the other song. No, I think we did 4 songs. We did 4. The 4th one was a cover by another artist. And that one I'm actually gonna do that one acoustically. I want to do that one acoustically because I have a good arrangement for it. But anyways, we went into the studio to do these songs, right? We go back to Pearsall, and I'm gonna tell a story, because this is what we're here for. Yeah, no, right? Hell yeah. So Johnny was there with Brian at our restaurant. I remember they were in the first booth. They were talking. Johnny had been there probably for a couple hours. He was going to give us some songs because he was going to give us some songs to maybe, try out. Johnny Lee Rosas. Mm-hmm. So that happened. He brought us the songs. Brian and him were there for a couple hours. They ended up talking, and they were like, we can do it. Johnny said he wanted to do it again, Masizzo. Mm-hmm. So that's how the talk happened. And then April 1st, that was the day we announced it because we were going to use it both as a joke for, maybe people aren't gonna believe it, and also because that was whenever Johnny said, yeah, I want to come back. So me being, how old was I? I was maybe 18, 9, I don't remember. I think I was 19. So me being, the 19-year-old kid, I was like, damn, I'm not gonna sing no more. Yeah, what's going on? So my dad said, we can do this on one condition, because my dad was with me. We were already doing our own thing. Right. But he was like, okay, we can do it, but I want Isaias in the band. So they put me on segunda voz and on congas, which I love playing the congas, just like I love playing the drums because it's percussion. And so
the way I'm always gonna take that situation, because it was kind of like we were there and then it was taken away, but I'm never gonna look at it as a bad situation because maybe I wasn't ready. You know what I mean?
It wasn't your time.
Yeah, it wasn't my time. Maybe I didn't have enough experience singing. Maybe I didn't know Spanish as well. Maybe I didn't look as good. So I take it as a
hold up, dog. Look.
What?
I'm not. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you comparing yourself to Johnny Lee.
Thank you.
It's cool. It's cool.
I hope he sees that. I like that. So that's the way I take it. You know, it's like, dude, either way, I got a crap load of experience gigging. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We did shows after shows, and I was on congas. I was doing segundas. I was able to act in interviews, not act in interviews, but do interviews. And I was able to find myself as who I was going to be as a part of the band. You know what I mean? So when that happened, when he ended up getting out, because it was basically like a reunion album. That's all they did.
I remember that. I ran into him outside of Far West.
Okay.
And he had just gigged with you guys.
Okay.
Or they were back together.
Uh-huh.
And, me and my wife being Masizzo fans,
Uh-huh.
we're like, oh, shit, that's the original
That's Johnny?
Masizzo. They're back.
Yeah.
And that album came out, and I think he made an album by himself, and then he was back with Intocable. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was
Excuse me. No, you didn't cut me off. Yeah, that's the way it happened, because it was like, let's get back. Let's see if we can do some shows. And they were able to do some shows, and it never really took off. You know what I mean? And they were able to do that album, which a lot of people like it, and then there's a lot of people that don't like it as well for their reasons. I like the album. It's something that I was actually a part of it. I was able to be in the studio. I was able to guide Epi, which saludos para Epi. I don't know if he's watching, but he's the one that did all the hits from Masizzo on 100% on M3. He recorded the congas, and he's my favorite conga player.
So the conga player is like for Masizzo. Is it? You guys have a conga player now?
Yes. Right now, his name is Edar Navarro, and he's here to stay. That guy is, I'll tell you, man, he's badass.
Is that the one that used to play with Palomo?
No. We had two of them. It was Walter y lo Aurelio.
Okay.
But no, they're not with us anymore. His name is Edar Navarro. He's from Houston, Texas. He's, I think he's from Mexico, but I don't know what part. But yeah, shout out to Edar. I hope he's watching. I tagged him, so he better be watching. But yeah, man, it's an important part of the band, because not only is he playing congas, but he's an animador. And me, I'm learning little by little. I mean, we haven't been gigging, but I was learning little by little to talk on stage, be a part of the show.
That's a hard thing to do,
it's
dude.
It's hard, man.
The hype man.
If you don't have it naturally, it's hard.
So for my English viewers, what he's talking about, what's the word?
It's animador.
Animador is the hype man. So in English, right? He's the one that gets everybody going. And I'm going to throw this out there, man. I went, I'm not going to say the band's name, right? But I went to a concert, and I paid a lot of money for a concert. And when I say a lot of money, it was for one carload, and it was a lot of money. And we sat there, and at the time, their animador. Yeah, I'm jacking it up, right?
You're good.
The hype man disappeared. Wasn't there. I'm going to tell you this. It made the band so boring. The songs we love that we grew up with, you're gonna jam them, hear them. But the dead space in between has to be eaten up, right? Because people are just like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, what's going on?
You got to have somebody to keep them entertained and keep them going. So it is a very difficult job. But I'm gonna tell you, a group without somebody like that live.
Yeah,
I didn't dig it.
And like I said, if you don't have it naturally, like sometimes there's some people that they'll have that. It'll be the lead singer, you know what I mean? And he'll be able to do that.
He can sing and so you never get a break. Your voice never gets a break.
But the thing is, it's like, having that naturally, it takes away that other element, but it shows that much more, how can I put it, like celebrity status. You know what I mean? It gives you that other edge, that other side of being able to actually be on stage and talk and get the girls going, and get the crowd hyped up whenever you need it. And it's a hard job. And I was learning. I was starting to learn. I was interacting with the crowd. I was talking to Edar on stage. Y luego todo se paró. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I can get right back on where I was. But yeah, man, that's a very, very hard position.
You think Izzy can do it?
He actually has.
What's he asking? Dude, let's go. Bump. Ask Isaias who's the better. Oh man, he said ask Isaias who's the. You know what? We'll just do this.
Oh, him. Okay.
We'll just do it just like this. Check this out. He said, Bump. Ask Isaias who's the better drummer, him, his dad, or Brian, the infamous Masizzo drummer throw.
Okay, so that one's easy. Well, this part is easy. Brian is third. Okay, that one is no question about it. If you want to bring him on here,
he can't keep no rhythm.
No. He can play the drums, but he does not beat me. He's third. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Joey says. I don't care what Brian says. Nobody. He is third, and I'll take him to court.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. This is from Brian from right field.
You heard that? He's third. And I love you, but you know you're third, man. Before, and I'm gonna put it like this. I haven't been playing the drums because my dad and I have been in the studio, right, working with Mario. We've been working on songs for him. Okay, we have a home studio. I am basically the engineer, the one that knows how to run it. I'm behind the computer. So I can't be on that side playing the drums because we have an electric drum set, and that's how we do the demos. My dad has been playing a lot lately. So right now he'll beat me. He probably has more stamina on the drums.
But if you're doing it regularly, you think you could beat him?
If we're all, at the same pace, practicing, gigging, whatever, I'll beat him. Yeah.
All day?
I'll beat him. I'm number one in that case. But right now he's probably number one.
That's awesome, man.
But he will throw this to me every single time. And not a lot of people know this. He recorded the song Juntos para Siempre on the first album.
Mm-hmm.
Te voy a amar hasta el final. That's my dad on the drums. And he says, hey, I have a gold album. You don't? So it's like he has me beat either way. So what? Brian don't have a gold album on the drums, but I'll beat him live.
Joey, do you have a gold album on the drums?
I think he has more than one.
You gonna play another one?
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't we play that one? No.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if somebody had put a song on here. I don't want to be mean, and people are like, I asked for a song and they didn't play it. Por tu capricho?
Tu capricho? Okay.
That's a classic.
These are old strings. Okay. See if I remember it. Ahora que ya estás sin mí, ahora que ya eres feliz, ¿por qué te la pasas llorando, preguntando tan solo por mí? Ahora tienes otro amor y no extrañas lo que yo te di. ¿Por qué te la pasas llorando y hablando tan solo de mí? ¿Será que no me puedes olvidar? Que mis besos siempre te hacen falta. Tal vez el que hoy ocupa mi lugar no sabe amarte como yo te amaba. Ahora sabes que no soy fácil de olvidar. Por tu capricho tendrás que llorar. That's so everybody knows that we're live here.
Damn, no, that's what makes it wacky, bro. We're live. I tell people all the time. People think that I have like a that I have a script or no, bro. Okay. You saw we had a mix up, right? The internet went out. This is live, bro.
Yes, sir.
And I think people are really digging it, bro. I see more hearts and more thumbs up than I've ever seen before on any of my shows. So that's gotta be a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Izzy, what's your favorite song growing up, dude?
Vuelve a mí.
You can sing that one for me.
Damn. Okay.
For your, hey, dude, it's got to be special because it's for your brother.
Let me. Oh. Let me tune real quick. You want to be the animador real quick?
Ladies and gentlemen, live from San Antonio, Texas.
Buscando si algún día volverás. Me paso el tiempo coloreando soledad. Te dedico mis canciones, vas dentro de mis acciones. Amor, amor, me busco en el pasado tu perdón. Tu fragancia sigue en mí, te juro, amor. El silencio habla conmigo, ahora es un buen amigo. Amor, amor, vuelve a mí. Todo me aburre si no estás aquí. Este exilio hoy me matará. Si tú no estás, amor, vuelve a mí. Todo me aburre si no estás aquí. Hoy me matará. Si tú no estás, amor, amor. Sorry, Israel.
Yo, that, hey, I wanted to start like hitting, like get a little, right? Getting the, what do you got going? Hey, I got a question, man. Out of the blue, somebody hit me up. Maybe after the show, Rolly, I think it was Rolly. Let me see who it was here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Rolly Vega, we're gonna, after the show, I'll message you. I'll get with him and we'll give you the guy. He wants to know where in Monterrey. So
Okay.
we're international now. We're being watched in Monterrey, Mexico. He wants to know where he can grab one of these these caps. So before they leave today, I'll get the information to you, Rolly. So thanks for tuning in. What else, Isaias? You know, I really enjoyed watching your guys' vlogs.
Yeah, man.
I used to like listening to the conversations, bro. Like the conversations were deep, and you know, I've been on y'all's bus a few times, and I know you know, if you're not in your bunk and you're in the front, I mean, once you get, you know, a bunch of guys up there, it's gonna get crazy quick.
It can get serious.
It can get really, really serious.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like being in the military. You know, when we're sitting around somewhere, we're way out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like there's no internet, we're not on our, you know, we don't have phones, and we just talk about something, and you know, that conversation will just lead to 100 different conversations.
Yep.
And that's what I liked about the vlogs, bro. It was like, it was real. It's like you guys weren't like, hey, they're recording. Let's do this. Y'all were just being you. Yeah. And like hearing your dad asking, you know, like, what's your favorite rock? Why would you make it? Why would that band be better than this band? And that's the other thing that is really weird, bro, is that you guys rock so hard, the Norteño Tejano sound. But I think like your dad, I think, and Joey, I know Joey for sure, their love is rock.
Yeah, man.
Like they like the old classic rock and roll music. And it's crazy, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's not what you play Norteño Tejano music. Yeah. It's different. So
it's funny, man, because I remember my dad told, I think it was the first time my dad talked to Joey. He told him, when we get together, man, you're gonna freak out at how much we're alike, like the same. Like you're gonna freak out at how much we know, like similar things. You know what I mean? How we have the same likes basically.
Right.
Man, I couldn't say that. But what's it called? Joey lived in Seguin. My dad was from Delhi. You know, that area. The radio stations were somewhat alike. So it was like they were kind of basically listening to the same music. You know what I mean? So it's interesting, man, because, you know, for them to never get together musically or ever know each other personally, and then they get together finally, and they're very much alike. I remember I have a video on my phone where that one didn't come out on the vlog. I wanted it to, where my dad's sitting down, right? He's eating, I think, chicken or something. Joey's on the other side, and Joey's going like this, going along with the hits on the song. My dad's going like that, trying to find the next song. And it's like they're freaking best friends, you know what I mean? Like that was towards the beginning of whenever we had gotten on the road. And it was like, dude, these guys are so much alike. It's like they like the same stuff, you know, they have the same like idea when it comes to music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and of course my dad's a little bit older, and like Joey's 30, my dad's 32.
If you believe that,
yeah, it's
I got
on record.
Yeah, it's on record.
though.
If you believe that, I got some property out there in the desert. If you want to live by the ocean.
So it's like my dad has a little bit more. I don't want to say knowledge, but he's older. You know, of course he's gonna have more experience with things. But it's like they're best friends, man. You know what I mean? It's like they're long lost brothers. And the thing is, Brian is the same way with music. I'm the same way. Israel's the same way. We were. It wasn't forced on us. It was something that.
That's what I was gonna ask. That was today when I was sitting here working. I said, man, you know, one of the questions I want to ask you was, you would think that having a grandfather who toured all of Texas, is a legend, right? Los Tronos de Texas they're legends.
Yes, sir.
And then, you know, your dad being with Tinto Cable and then starting Masizzo, like, okay, I have boys now. Here's a bajo. Here's a accordion, right? Learn it because it's what we do.
Yeah. No, I wasn't like that at all. My dad, very much so, he wanted us more to go the other route, you know, go to college. And of course, if you want to do music, you know, it's there if you want to learn. But having that piece of paper, he would always tell us, you know, just having that, it changes the blessings and opportunities that comes towards you. You know what I mean? So he wanted us to do that. And I did go to college. I have my associates. Israel has his bachelor's. My sister, she just turned 18. When was it? Like 3 days ago. Yesenia. Shout out to Yesenia. Shout out to Daniel. Love y'all guys. She just turned 18, and she actually just passed all the tests that she needed to pass to get into nursing school when she's ready. So she's actually gonna go into nursing school.
That says a lot about your mom and dad, dude. To be honest with you, you know, and not that if your kids don't go to school or don't follow something, that there's nothing wrong with that. I just had two shows ago. I had some buddies on here, and that was the topic of the show. Like we always tell our kids, hey, you got to go to college, you got to get a degree, and you're gonna go make money, right? But we overlook like construction jobs, plumbing jobs, where you know, people with degree don't even make as much money as a plumber, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's trades out there where you can make a good living, and it doesn't have to revolve around a college.
And even at that, even if you do go and get, you know, a political science career, you know what I mean, or a master's in journalism, it's like it's anything. If you're not gonna be happy doing that thing, you know, what's the point? But I believe you're eventually gonna not want to do that and quit and go do something that you really want to do. You know, I believe it should also revolve around what it is that you see yourself doing. You know, because if you see yourself in a 9-to-5 job, you know, working in a cubicle, that's fine. You do that. We need that. You know what I mean? Every type of government, every type of business needs those types of people.
Right.
And there's a lot of them. But if you don't love that, you know, do what it is that you feel and just go with it 100%. Definiteness of purpose. Understand that if you see the end result of what it is your passion is or what it is that you want to do, but you also see all those steps towards it, then do it. You know, you're on the right track.
You sure this guy's 24, bro? Yeah. He's speaking knowledge over here,
you know,
bro.
In high school, they always used to call me dad. They used to call me dad because I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't go out. I don't go to clubs. You know, I don't do any of that. I don't even date, man. You know, I'm home doing music or the restaurant or with my family. It's like I don't do anything. You know what I mean?
Texted me saying to correct that I have an associate's, not a bachelor's.
You have an associate's?
I'm working on my bachelor's.
Oh, he's working on his bachelor's.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
It's still something.
Yeah, he's almost there though.
I want to tell you a story. You brought up you working at the restaurant.
Yes.
And I've been a couple of times to Garcia's. We drove over there to go eat great chow. And when I was sitting there, bro, it wasn't very busy. It was an evening. I think it was like in the middle of the week, like maybe like a Wednesday or something. And the couple I brought, they were from Chicago.
Oh yeah, I remember
right.
that.
And his wife's African American. He's Puerto Rican, right? But they know the music because when they come over here to hang out with me, they know what they're gonna hear, right?
Yes.
So they're familiar with the music. So as we were eating our dinner, and this is kind of when I want to get to the viewers. What really made me like this guy is he's awesome, bro. He's a very humble individual, and I want to tell you to your face, right? Because this would happen. So we're sitting there and we're gonna order our food or whatever, and you were sitting down. You had just either wiped something down or you were sitting down at the corner of the bar or something, right? And I got on my phone, bro, and I went on YouTube, and it was one of the last live shows that y'all did in Brownsville.
Okay.
And there was thousands of people in the crowd, like thousands.
How much? 50,000.
There was the numbers are here. There was 50,000 people singing along to all the songs that you guys were playing. That alone says a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And I was showing her the video, and she's like, "What is this?" I said, "Hey, just check out the video, right? Check it out." Mm-hmm. And she's she's freaking looking at the video, and she's watching it. And I said, "Now look over your left shoulder." Mm-hmm. And she looks over the left shoulder. She's like, "No, look. Let me look at it again." And she looks at it, and she's like, "Shout out to my girl Angie." She's like, "That's that guy right there." I said, "How do you think a human being can play for 50,000 people singing to every line that he's singing, but yet he's humble enough to sit down in here and come over here, bring you a drink or whatever, or take our pay at pay at the register?" Like, that says a lot, bro. And I think that people have and what's happened with the COVID, I think a lot of people have opened their eyes that, like, hey, musicians before they're musicians, a lot of them have like normal jobs. You know what I mean? I mean, there's far and in between people who can just tour and make enough money, right, to sit along. I mean, and especially in the genre of Tejano music. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know like Ram, he's like builds cabinets. Tropa F, they're plumbers. Like, you know what I mean? There's all different things. But what I found fascinating about you, Isaias, was that the fact that you were playing for 50,000 people, bro. But there you were.
Yeah. Right
there. You came and talked to me like, "Hey, how's it going?" Just talking to us. And she thought that was the craziest. Like, all the way back driving to San Antonio, she just couldn't get over the fact that, you're playing for 50,000 people, and then here you were just, talking to us at a table.
And I appreciate that. And we've been blessed enough, man, to somos chiflados. Sí, somos chiflados, There's no question about that. But the way I see it, there's two types of spoiled, man. You have the spoiled that, they'll take advantage of the fact that their parents will do anything and everything, and they'll not work. They're not gonna go look for a job. They're not gonna want to go to school, but their parents will take care of them anyways. And we have that. If we didn't want to go to school, we didn't have to. Hey, you're gonna work. You know what I mean? You're gonna work. If you don't want to work, okay, but you're gonna do something, then you're gonna, work on music, go to school, do something. You know what I mean? So we have both sides. We are spoiled, very much so. I thank God for that every day, because we're very much taken care of, because we have great parents. But we were also instilled with the right morals, the right work ethic, the right study ethic, or the right mindset. In other words, to understand that, hey, just because we have anything and everything, if we desire it, doesn't mean that you're gonna leave it up to that. You gotta take, if you want things in life, and you're always gonna want things in life and more, of course, because that's only human nature. Then you gotta work at it. You gotta be humble. You gotta keep your feet on the ground, especially when things start going good for you. You gotta understand that, hey, there's always somebody better. There's always somebody bigger. There's always somebody smarter. Always somebody richer. Always somebody everything. And if you don't think like that, then you're gonna end up being, stuck in the same position that you're in at that moment, and even going down if you don't take care of it. You know what I mean? So we were instilled with the right morals and right work ethic, right mindset since we were born, because, you know, we grew up in a house where we believe in God. We're Christians. We understand that it starts with God. Without God, there's nothing. You know, that's the way we see it. And after that, you know, you got to put in the work for anything, for a relationship. If you want to be in a relationship, that's going to take work, no?
No, definitely.
You know, and that's the way it is. Just for something it seems so simple. Oh, I'm going to be boyfriend or girlfriend with this girl or with this person. You know what I mean? That's not the end. Hell no. You know what I mean? So it's like
with you saying that, I'm sure there's some viewers out there that are probably asking right now,
Yeah.
Are you single?
I am.
You are?
I am.
So ladies, they're on the record. If you're watching, you're tuning in, you wanted to know, he is single.
I'm very busy though, so don't bother me. Not at the moment.
He's single, not ready to mingle. He's
Yeah,
not
there
ready.
you
He's
go.
not ready to mingle.
I'm more trying to figure things out.
You say yes. You don't hearing you speak, man. Again, it really talks about your parents and how they
Yeah.
raised you. How humble you are, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're freaking humble as heck, dude. I mean,
I try to be a little cocky, but it doesn't come out.
No,
You know
no,
what I
dude,
mean?
dude.
You know, it doesn't happen.
people,
Not all the time.
and I'll put it like this, like, you know, my show it's not huge. It's just something that I like doing on Wednesdays, and we always have different guests. But the fact that you drove here and you're in here, you're jamming out, you're right here, inside my house. You know, it just says a lot about you. Like, hey, man, you know what? I'm gonna give you my time. And
Can I say something?
Go,
I'm
dale.
sorry to cut you off.
Dale.
No matter if there's 5 people watching or 500, however many people are watching, this show that you have here, since I think Israel was there too, you were telling us about it. This can grow probably more than you think, but it can grow, man. It can become something that's, you know, very, especially in the area, you know what I mean? Like for Tejano artists, for people in the area that work or whatever it is that whoever it is you're going to be interviewing, this show can grow, man. You know why? Because you've done it right since the beginning. You've done it right. Look at, you know, how many shows have you done so far?
I think this is like 41.
41?
Yeah.
You're set up badass. You know what I mean? It didn't take you long to get set up badass. And
Yeah.
you're still going to keep, I know you're still going to work on it. You know what I mean?
No,
Your setup is
definitely.
going to keep getting better. The interviews are going to keep getting better. This show can grow, man.
I'm gonna try. I just saw
Yeah, I
your
think
thing. Your
my
dad wants to
get
come on,
He
right?
wants to join on FaceTime.
Okay, let me tell him. I'm gonna send him a link to his phone. He just got to click on the link and we'll be able to bring him in. Give me a second. Bear with me as I try to
You want me to sing
do
a song
this.
while you do this?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sing a song,
Can
bro.
you give me the
Sing a
water too,
song.
man? Thank you, sir. Core water.
Oh, I don't want to end it. Hold on.
It's Joey's favorite water.
Do. Hold on.
You tell me if you want me to sing.
Hold on, bro. Not yet. I don't want to hit this button and it goes off. I would be very upset. Hold on. It's sent. Tell your dad to be on the lookout. So as we get that ready to get his dad in. That'd be pretty cool. Get him wired in here. Let's hear a jam. Hell yeah.
I need to get new strings. Okay. que me extrañas, me pides que te perdone, que ya estás arrepentida, que olvide tus palabras, que es otra ya tu vida, que has cambiado por mi amor, que has cambiado por mi amor, amor. Pero mi alma la has dejado tan herida, me gritaste fastidiada, que ya no me soportabas, porque era yo un donadie, con un pobre corazón, con un pobre corazón. Amor, me hace llorar tu amor, cuánto te quiero, amor. Pero destrozaste mi alma y mi ilusión, tanto me hirió. Volver no puedo, no sana mi dolor. No logro parar que sangre mi corazón, lo siento, amor. Me hace llorar tu amor, cuánto te quiero, amor.
Classic. Yeah, Izzy, tell your dad, man. I sent him a link to his phone. All he has to do is click on the link and put in his name, and he can come on. We can put him right here live on the show. Tell him he better have his accordion ready. No, not te crees.
He probably will.
So, bro, what another classic, beautiful
music,
song,
right?
Bro, man.
You know,
awesome.
one thing about Masizzo, man, it's you hear that?
Uh-oh.
What was that? Is that my dad?
I think there he is. Hold on. He's trying to fix himself. I gotta give him some time.
Your hair, man.
I gotta
There
give
you
him some
go.
time. Hold on.
just
Give me
finished
1
working out.
second, Albert. Let's see here.
You had to make a cameo, right?
Yeah. There it is.
You know?
Hey, Albert, turn your phone sideways. I bet what happens.
This way?
Yeah. Now you gotta center yourself.
Put it in the middle. That's what she said.
So there he is, ladies and gentlemen, live with us all the way from
Dilly, Texas.
Mr. Albert Ramirez. And Albert, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for tuning in. You're kind of off. You know what, dude? I'm gonna put you by yourself. How about that? You want to go by yourself? There you go. Now you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Now you're in the middle.
A
Y'all,
little bit more.
I don't know what I'm doing, man. Just go with it.
Okay.
You're good. What's going on, Albert? How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I was watching those what do you call them? Those YouTube videos from Ric Flair, man. So I started working out
Oh hell!
against Bruiser Brody, and I heard that Isaias was on, so I decided to check it out. And it's a pretty good interview, man. Y'all just he got it right with the drumming. I am the best drummer. And
I didn't say that. I didn't say
Joey
that.
and Danny. Next to Joey and Danny, I am the best drummer.
Right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Albert. Now that I got you on, man, I want to put you on the spot, dude, and I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
How does it feel, dude, to see your son? I know you share the stage with him, but how does it make you feel? I mean, I know most people say, "Oh, I feel prideful," you know, but in all honesty, like to have your son out there doing lead vocals out in front of the band, jamming, and you're right next to him on the accordion, like what goes through your mind, man, when you hit the stage? Do you get a different feeling every time you get on stage, or it's kind of the same feeling all the time?
No, it's a privilege, man. I know there's a lot of cliches. A lot of people will say different things, or the reality is that, man, he's learned so much, man. He's young, man, and he's at a level that ¿cómo te diré? Like when he was 20, he was at about 30 when it came to IQ, music, and knowing stuff, and he just jumped in and started singing with us. So to answer the question, I sometimes feel that I have to bring my A game to be able to play, because he practices a lot, man. He works a lot at what he does. And so if the question is how I feel proud, I feel privileged, but at the same time, you need to bring your A game, man, because he's bringing his. So it's all a matter of being able to kick some ass together. That's the way, to be honest, that's the way I feel.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. When I was telling him, I don't know if you watched earlier, but I was telling, me and my wife, Masizzo, that was the first CD she ever gave me, was a Masizzo CD. And, you guys have always been, one of our top 3 favorite bands of all time. And when I seen Isaias, when we went to go see you guys, the first time that I saw him live was at the Tejano Fanfare on outside market. Well, not under the bridge, but on the street where they have the 2 states, San Saba, on the San Saba street. And just to hear him, dude, like you could hear. I think I told you when I first heard you, and then when I heard you at Midnight Rodeo, bro. Yeah. Night and day. I think when I first saw him on the stage up at Fanfare, you were like, you still had a little bit of nervios, like you were a little nervous, right? But dude, when I saw you at Midnight Rodeo, to be next to your dad and your tío, and your dad and tío, they know it, bro. Like I said, they can do that standing on your head, right over. You can play the accordion backwards, upside down, right?
No.
But what I'm saying is, you guys were like jamming, and to see him jamming and being comfortable in front of the microphone and singing, and then y'all added Joey to the mix with the nice crisp sound of drums in the back, dude. It was just amazing, bro. The sound was off, what I would say, off the chain, man. It was really something.
When Isaias joined the band, and he was talking earlier about how when we were working on a demo, and we actually finished off some songs, and we ended up using almost about 4 or 5 songs, the M4. When Johnny stepped in, that was one of the reasons we were able to take out that album, because we just basically, what ended up happening, we took Isaias's voice off and put Johnny's, which in reality backfired. We should have just kept on going with Isaias. There was no reason for us to stop playing, but you live and learn, I guess. And when we got No Digas Que No, I ended up receiving that song through Héctor Cano and Wences Romo. I usually show the songs to Isaias and ask him if you like it. I always let him choose, if you like it, we'll try it out. But I had a good feeling about that song. And then we got in the studio. Joey still had not joined the band. I was working on another song que se llama No Te Enamores, and I had arranged it at the house with the intentions of getting Joey in the band. Could never get with Joey. So we ended up doing No Digas Que No. Going back to that, we ended up doing No Digas Que No with Danny Martinez on the drums. But Danny estaba con los Tex Maniacs. A great drummer también, a good buddy of mine, a 5-star drummer. And then when we finally got a hold of Joey, because Joey was playing with other bands, estaba hablando con Excelencia. He was doing like certain venues where he was being showcased as a drummer. I was able to get a hold of him through Eloy Leja, and I as soon as I talked to him, I knew that we could work something out, because and then after the first practice, I knew for a fact that this guy was meant to be with Isaias for the future of the band. And when we did Insuficiente, we did No Te Enamores, we did other songs, it just gelled. And then live, it just took off to where we had left off back in the 90s. Pero maybe not necessarily, ¿cómo te diré? Like crowd-wise or that aspect, but just the beginning stages of a new band, how you should gel with the band. Joey brought that element to the band. He's a great guy to have on the road. He's a pro. And those are the kinds of musicians that I wanted for Isaias to be exposed to. And no. He actually keeps him in line. He say, hey, because there's only so much I can tell Isaias, but when he hears it from somebody else like Joey, he keeps him in line as far as being an artist.
Isn't that crazy, right? They always got to hear from somebody else.
That's what I mean.
I don't look like an artist. I was working out, so I was inspired by Ric Flair. But anyway, I mean it sucks that we had to stop because of COVID. But now we got serious matters going on in the world with this pandemic, and it's real sad, man. And eventually everything will pick up again. Primeramente Dios, pase más rápido. It'll be faster, pero till then, man, I mean, we can't wait to get back out on the road.
No, dude, I was just telling Isaias, right? Like we were like this, like when you guys started clicking, and you got, you know, Joey was on there, and like when I seen y'all at the Midnight Rodeo, like we were literally like ready to rock and roll and see Masizzo hit the road, bro. Because it's like you said, it really felt like if you guys were onto something, bro, and it was sad that it stopped like that, the way that it stopped, right?
Yeah, it happened to a lot of bands. You know, a lot of bands were it happened to a lot of bands. But I was thinking the other day, you know, imagine those kids that were like all-state football players or all-state basketball players in track that couldn't even go to school and showcase their talents to be able to get a scholarship to go into college. And we might have lost a generational talent, you know, with some of those people, you know, some of those athletes. And there were some bands that were picking up, and Masizzo como quiera tiene nombre, and I think we'll be all right. But there are some bands that were beginning to get some steam, and they just got cut short, man. And it really sucks. But again, there's going to be a time and place for everything. We don't understand why we're having to go through this. People have been lost or have died to this coronavirus, and thank God que you know, the ones that are still here, you know, that we're here, you know, we're gonna learn from this, man, and try to move forward and try to be smarter, try to just love each other, you know, because that's the way it needs to be, and not take ourselves so seriously, because there's a lot of things in life that can happen that can just put everything to a stop, man. And but yeah, man, I remember getting started and feeling the way you felt, Bumper. You know, hey, I felt that way too, man. As being in the band, I felt like, hey, dude, we're starting to do something pretty good here, you know.
No, definitely, Albert. And you know, si Dios quiere, man, 2021, it just started, right? We haven't started off on the right foot, I don't think, but with time, I think it'll get going. I'm starting to see now on the radio stations that they're having gigs now. A lot of tarriadas I've seen. You know, people are you know, the flea markets are kind of opening up, and you know, a lot of local bands are starting to come out. But big venues, haven't really seen too many. But I hope it's coming. I mean, do you have any news that you could share with the viewers, maybe, that you think, or what do you think? Before we let you go, Albert, what do you think as far as when the fans will be able to go out and see you guys live?
Well, you mean like Masizzo, or like for there to be like bigger venue events, you know?
In all encompass, all in general, like,
man, right now, you know, last night I saw some videos that really ticked me off, and I was like, dude, we need to get into the studio. We need to start getting busy. We need to I can't use those words that I was using or name some of the things that I saw, but I actually got I texted Brian individually, and then I texted Joey and Isaias in a group, and I said, we need to get started, because I felt frustrated, and we have a couple of songs out there that we're gonna do. One of them is es una cumbia de Angela Ramos. Es una cumbita. Hay otra rola que is pretty unique, man. It's a song that we had done in 2001, and it was a song that was not complete, and we're gonna have to come back to the show and explain that song, but it's a very unique song. We're gonna do that one. Es una cumbia. As far as the bands, dude, you know, as far as the bands getting into bigger venues, I think right now, dude, realistically, man, because of the deaths that have occurred in the United States, over 400,000 people, and I don't mean to be, bring things down, but out of respect to those people that have passed, and with the vaccine coming out, we need to pay close attention to what's going on, and really try to hold off a little bit on those bigger venues if you can, because we're on the verge of maybe doing something good with the vaccine, and maybe controlling it. And I don't know if the worst is behind us, but we should respect what has happened, and try to social distance, take care of yourself, wash your hands, do everything that you got to do to take care of yourself, to till we pass this. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And I would be against Masizzo playing in any venues that are big, or donde va a haber mucha gente por el momento because of that. Ahora viene Abril, viene March and April. If we can hold off till then, which I think we can, I think it would be smart for us to do that, just out of respect to the people that we've lost.
That says a lot about you, man. Because, you know, a lot of people would be like, hey, man, there's money to be made. Let me get out there. But you look at it at a totally different thing, a totally different. Hey, Albert, before I let you go, man, we haven't said it, but you're on here. I'm looking forward, man, to getting over there and doing one live from y'all's neck of the woods and just kind of a kickback. Kind of what Isaias is doing, but having, you know, all you guys there
at the restaurant.
And do a session where we cook some steaks or something.
Nice stuff.
And
we'll have a drum off también to show everybody.
There you go, live drum off right there, man.
Drum off happened a long time ago when I recorded that Goat album, man. So
you see what I'm saying? It's not fair.
Albert, I want to thank you, bro, for chiming in and getting on here for a little bit. And I really look forward to having you guys all together and a little jam session for the viewers, because I think we need to hear it. We need to hear it. You know, people want to hear it, man. They want to hear some Masizzo. So maybe we can work on that here when we get done with this show. We'll work on getting that show together.
Yeah. One last thing before I go, man.
Yes, sir.
Isaias, what about the order? I'm number 1, Brian's number 2, and Isaias is number 3. Okay, just FYI. So that's the way it goes, man. And un saludos para Eder, para Brian, para Joey, para todos los fans de que apoyan la música norteña tejana, para toda esa gente de Monterrey, que I get messages all the time. Recibo los mensajes y a veces no tengo tiempo no es que no tengo tiempo, a veces se me pasa porque estoy acá jalando en el restaurante y me tienen de cocinero a veces, y de busboy, de dishwasher. Pero un saludo para toda esa raza de Monterrey, del club de fans. If you want to do a shout out to them, Isaias, y para toda la raza de Puebla, que los han mandado también mensajes, para toda la gente de Texas, de Florida, all over, man. Thank you. Be on the lookout for Masizzo. We'll be coming back soon. And I appreciate this interview, dude. Bumper, I know we've been trying to get something on, but I really appreciate you so much, man. And thank you for picking us up on the road that day.
No worries, bro. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Gracias, brother.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
Later, bro.
Okay.
Later. So there he was. Hey, you look just like your dad, dude. Golly, I know people are gonna be like, "What?"
That's funny.
Yeah, you look a lot like your dad, man.
Let me send a shout out real quick, like my dad said. Un saludo muy especial para el club de fans de No Digas Que No de Monterrey, Nuevo León. Roxnelly, que she's the president. Saludos a ella y todas las demás. They've supported us since we started shooting No Digas Que No. They were the first fans that showed up to, we had a little convivencia there at Wences' studio, and they showed up. We ate, we sang songs. There's actually videos of it on YouTube, and they were the first ones that started supporting us, man, in Monterrey.
And dude, Monterrey, they love the music from over here, bro.
Oh yeah,
they love the music from over here. Isaias, and I'm not trying to cut us short at all, but I want to ask you something before I forget, right? Because I don't want to do it at the end of the show like I always do with everybody, because I remember like I didn't ask him.
Before we go, how much time we got?
Bro, we got as much time as you
want.
as you want, bro.
We might stay here.
We might. There you go. I got beds. I got couches. I got Pero let me tell you, you threw me off with that, bro. God, we're live.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Israel says I do that a lot, man.
It was a question. So, you know, and it's weird because you're going to be the first one to answer this question within the age limit of what I tell people.
Okay.
Right. So I think almost all my guests that I've had on the show, I ask them one question. And I don't know why I asked this question. I think maybe because a lot of my kids are in that. No, they're not. They're actually older. But it is what it is. If you, Isaias Ramirez, was to be taken right now and thrown into a auditorium, and the auditorium's filled with nothing but 15-year-olds to 25-year-olds, right? In the world that we live in today, and taking everything, in the United States, how everything's going right now, how everything works, what would be your message to them? Like, it could be anything from, keep
A bunch of 15-year-olds like kids?
no 15 to 25-year-olds,
okay,
right?
Okay.
What would be your main thing that you would want to tell them? You know what I'm saying? And I know you fall. That's what's crazy. You fall in that.
That's fine.
Right?
That's fine. My dad said I was 30 at 20.
There you
so
go. That's right.
there
He
you go.
did. So what would you tell that audience, right? 15 to 25-year-olds, male and female. What would be your message to them in today's world?
First off, it would be...
It could be long or short.
Don't ever... That's what she said. The first thing would be, don't ever let go of God. Because without him, we're not going anywhere. We have to always remember that he is the one that we're going to in life, towards the end, and throughout life. Don't ever let go of God. Second, I would say think for yourself. Learn. I got into an author. His name's Napoleon Hill, and he talks a lot about theory and learning to the definiteness of purpose. You know what I mean? Knowing this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it with 100% of me. You have to think for yourself, because if you're out there allowing, por ejemplo, like nowadays, TikTok, to be your source of information, source of education for learning things, then you're not thinking for yourself. You're allowing the people that are on there to show you this is how you do things and that's the way it's done. In any type of, if it's dancing, if it's reading, if it's cooking, if it's anything, you know what I mean? You have to think for yourself, because you need to get that experience. You need trial and error. You need to understand that when you lose something, when you fail at something, it's not a failure necessarily. It is a learning experience, so you can move on to the next step, and then that's how you grow. That's how you create experiences. You have to think for yourself, and you have to understand that God gave us the most powerful thing on this earth right here. It's not the heart. It's not the atom bomb. It's not a freaking 5.8 liter V8 engine. It's a brain that's stronger than all that, because if you think about it, Jesus, and I hate, I don't know. And
No, you're good, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're good.
But, I'm never going to deny him. But Jesus was a human being. Why was he able to do those things? Because he understood the brain. He understood the power of the brain. He understood that tool is all you need. If you think positive, you're going to attract positive. If you think rich in money, you're going to attract money. If you think rich in health, you're going to be healthy. If you think it goes the other way too. If you think puro negative, you're going to attract negative. If you think, man, why are we so poor? Why has my family always been so poor? Why are we not healthy? Why can't I get better at this? That's the way it's going to be. No, say, I'm going to get better at this, or I'm going to be rich. I am rich.
Speak it into
existence. Exactly. And the only way you do that is by starting here. You have to start with your mind. Think for yourself and understand that the moment that you start saying, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it with all my heart, and start thinking positive, you're going to do anything you want to do. That's the way it is. That's the way it is.
Wow.
At least in my head.
No, dude, that was crazy. Izzy, you wanted to get in on that or what? You wanted to?
I'll wait till my show.
Tell me.
Yeah, wait till, okay, 3 months.
3 months.
You
Okay.
called it. Izzy said do his
3
own
months.
show in 3 months.
He's going to give his opinion.
There you go.
He's going to say, no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
No, it's crazy that you answered that question in that way, man, because it just goes back to your upbringing, dude. You can really hear your upbringing. You can hear the way you attack life. I always use the word attack, and people like,
That's a good word.
I know,
That's a
but
very good word.
It's because of the Marine in me,
No,
right?
that's good, man. That's
the way like I attack things, right?
Don't not use it. Use it all the time.
And the way you came across and you said everything, and just like, again, it really says a lot about your parents,
Yeah,
and your upbringing. Have you reached a point in your, like, so you're the lead singer of a big time norteño tejano band, right? And everything that you just said and whatnot, is that your pinnacle? Is that where you want to,
Like be?
yeah.
Well, of course. Being part of Masizzo is not necessarily just me being part of Masizzo. My dad's there. You know what I mean? My Uncle Brian's there. And then now I have Joey, which is like a long lost brother. You know what I mean? You know, an older brother. Well, an older brother.
Humble cat too, though, bro.
Yeah.
Humble.
So, of course, it's where I want to be. But I have to grow. You know what I mean? And what I mean by I don't mean grow out of it. What I mean is, if Masizzo stays as Masizzo, it's badass. But I need to help that become more. And I have to put in the work. You know what I mean? This year, and we in Israel were talking about it the other day. 2020 was a year horrible. You know what I mean? Unimaginable. And we've lost, you know, the world has lost so many people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we actually lost our grandmother on my mom's side, which was back in
To COVID?
To COVID, back in late December. So it's and then also Joey's wife, Starla, she lost her grandmother as well to COVID, and it's hard, you know.
It's
when
real.
When it hits close to home like that, it makes it like we always understood. This is something, you know, you got to take care, put your mask on, take care of yourself, wash your hands, all that stuff. You know what I mean? But when it hits close to home, it makes it that much more scary. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So what we were talking about the other day is 2020 was a year like this. Besides all of that, either you were going to take it as a year of like, I would use it as an excuse, you know, well, I can't do this because of COVID. Or I'm not making money because of COVID. I'm not doing this because of whatever. You know what I mean? Mm. Or it was going to be a year of preparing and working towards once COVID is done, once the pandemic is done. And sadly, I can say that I didn't take that route. You know, mentally, it did affect me, and I did realize it late, but I realized that the pandemic affected me. The pandemic did affect me in a way that was kind of hidden at first, but what it did was it made me kind of like not necessarily depressed, but I was just like sad without even knowing it, because I missed seeing Joey, I missed seeing the fans, I missed seeing you know, the bus, you know what I mean? I missed the road.
You miss Buc-ee's and
all that stuff, you know what I mean?
All the truck stops.
You know how long it's been since I've had a Buc-ee's sandwich, man?
It is 15 miles, bro. You can hit the
we might have
Buc-ee's.
to go. We'll go, man.
Buc-ee's
Screw it, we'll go. So it's like, and the day I realized it, I know exactly. I don't remember the date, but I remember what happened. I was walking up the stairs to our bar, and Brian had just reopened the bar because they had allowed bars to open.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I saw those lights, and then I smelled the smoke, the fog juice, and it felt like I was about to go play. And I had this jacket on, actually, and I was like, dude, I'm ready. And
give him my bottle.
yeah, and I realized, dude, it's like, shit, we don't have gigs. You know, we're not gigging. I'm not about to go play. I'm just going up there just because it's like, it affected me. So I hate it, but that's, you know, ya pa que, that's the year. You know what I mean? You can't give back time. Time is going to keep going. It was either a year of you're going to use that or you're going to work hard. And now, since I realized that, I finally started working at it. Me and Israel are actually working on a couple of projects, which I'm going to do. He was talking to you about it earlier, where I'm going to do some acoustic songs. They're covers, but they're good songs. You know what I mean? And we're going to do some videos.
I got one. You want me to play it?
Which one? Oh, we're not going to do that one, but that one's a cool one if you want to put it. If you want to go ahead and put it.
Here, let's see.
Let me give the little backstory. Dale. It's the one by the fire. So I'm very hard to deal with sometimes. Y a veces si no quiero hacer algo, no lo voy a hacer. No lo voy a hacer. Pero Israel, my brother, he's the opposite. You know, he's like, let's do this. You know, do that. And it's all over the place. And I love him for it. That day, he kept saying, because I had made a fire. He said, dude, let's do a video. Let's do a song. So I didn't want to do it. And after about an hour, this was actually the last video that we did. We had gone back inside because I was kind of mad. And I was already mad and frustrated. So I started singing this song. And then he said, let's do that one. So we went back outside. And this was the end result. It was just something quick, but it actually got a good response. So it's like.
Here it goes. Hey, I like the fire, dude.
Yeah,
Looks all. I didn't want to play the whole
you're good,
thing,
you're good.
but dude, it the
looks nice,
backdrop. It looked nice.
That was all Israel, man. You know, I have to talk about Israel because the
man behind the scenes.
More than that, he is very. How can I put it? If anybody motivates me, you know, even though he doesn't know it sometimes, but I look up to him a lot. He's my younger brother, but I look up to him in a lot of ways. He helps me, man, in so many ways because I wouldn't have done that video. You know what I mean? And it got a good response. I wouldn't have done the setting like that. Like, that's my motorcycle in the back.
Right.
That's my motorcycle. And I wouldn't have put it there. You know what I mean? And it's just he takes care of things that I don't take care of. You know, I guess I have a different quality when it comes. I'm like, nah, hombre, you know, just do it however it comes out or whatever. I do like to take care of certain things, but most of the time it's like, however it comes out. Israel is very, very good. He's the one that does the vlogs. He did all the vlogs on his phone. So
when you're in the background, are you like making faces like yeah?
The very first one, it's funny, dude, because there's a clip where my dad, he walks up to him and he tells him, play the fucking cowbell. And the very next clip, Israel's playing the cowbell on the song. So it's like, you know, he's always behind the camera, but it's like...
Isn't there a movie? More cowbell! More cowbell!
From Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, more cowbell! More cowbell!
So it's like, Israel, I promise you this, I wouldn't have had that interview in Primer Impacto if it wasn't for that guy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have had...
But Primer Impacto is huge,
I know,
bro.
exactly. And
so for my American viewers, Primer Impacto is like TMZ. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No, dude, no, it's more than TMZ.
It's more like how can I put it? Like CNN.
See, oh well, or
no,
yeah, I
CNN
guess
is news, right?
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of more of
like an entertainment.
Like E, yeah, like E, yeah, like on the E entertainment news.
Like
exactly, that's exactly what it is. So you want to jam another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna jam another one.
Damn, I should tune it, no? It's okay. That one?
Ooh.
Okay, I'm just gonna sing. Siempre que hablo de ti, te dibujo con mis manos, mis palabras. Y sin exagerar, yo les digo a mis amigos que me amas. Se voltean a ver y me siguen la corriente día con día y murmuran después que estoy loco y vivo en una fantasía. Tan solo porque yo despierto cada madrugada, escucho una voz en mi almohada, atrapada en la ilusión. Tan solo porque yo me enamoré de ti en un sueño y ahora puedo ser el dueño de una hermosa realidad. Porque yo sé que tú existes en mi vida y eso no puede ser solo una fantasía.
Dude, the vocal sounds so freaking clean, dude.
You like it?
Yes, bro.
I love it too, man.
It sounds.
Vamos sextos, Vega.
There you go. Hey, before we close this up,
yeah, man.
There's can you play? Well, it's a cumbia, no?
Which one?
Mia. Is it
Solamente Mia?
Solamente Mia.
Yeah.
That was requested earlier, right? See, I don't want to make the I don't want to get my viewers mad, bro. So Solamente Mia, here, dude. I'm gonna be the hype man, bro. Yes, I'm gonna be the hype man.
You got stuff over there to play or what?
Huh? No. You
do the crowd. You gotta do the crowd.
You gotta do the right here like this. Yeah. No.
Oh, they're laughing at me.
They're laughing at you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, live from San Antonio, Texas, Mr. Isaias Ramirez.
Esta vez Ya no quisiste escucharme. Ya lo ves, ahora quieres marcharte. Otro amor que se cruzó en tu camino. Qué dolor empañará mi destino. Tú sigues siendo mía, mía solamente mía. Tú sigues siendo mía, aunque te vayas con él. Tú sigues siendo mía, mía solamente mía. Tú sigues siendo mía, 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 mi amor.
Hey, you lucky I didn't pull out, you lucky I didn't pull out the can, bro. I was going to put out the can. No, and I was going to play like Bob from La Bamba down in the background. on the drums, dude, on the rim, bro. Joey, I would have gave Joey a run for his money. Watch out.
You know what's funny? Every time I play the drums, that's what Joey calls me, Bob from La Bamba. So you know what number he has me on?
That's crazy. Right that's there. Crazy. Isaias, what else would you that I haven't asked you? You know what I mean? I really like keeping the conversation. Like I told you, you know, I know when you guys go to radio stations and I watch the live, every DJ asks y'all the same thing. Where are you at? What are you doing? What's next? Scripted. Yeah, it's kind of scripted. My show, I like to just talk about anything and everything, right, bro? So I'm gonna take you out of the music realm right now.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
What do you like to do?
I love to cook. Love to cook. That's something that, believe it or not, I'm thinking, like, you know how I was talking about the year, how it was either do this or do that?
Right.
What I did was cook. So I watched video after video of stuff, you know. And, of course, I was cooking at the same time. But I became a real, not a chef, but I'm a cook. I love to cook. You know what I mean?
Do you cook at the restaurant?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, at the restaurant, it's more like we have our cook in the morning. His name is Agustin. Saludos para todos de Garcias. I don't know if they're watching. Adan, Raul, Eric, Agustin, Santa, Frank, everybody that's working, all the waitresses. What's up? So at the restaurant, we have our cook in the morning, and he basically gets there at 5 a.m, and he makes the food. Everything is done fresh. Everything is done fresh daily. Everything is like, for example, the steaks. It's cut to order. It hasn't been cut yet. We have the cow back there and everything. So I'm just kidding. But
I was gonna say, damn, bro.
We have the black Angus ribeye roll back there. We will not cut a steak until they order. They're not prepackaged steaks. It's not, you know, pre-made ground beef like Taco Bell. It's not, you know, packaged rice. Everything is homemade. Except, I will say this, the fries and then maybe the chicken wings and the little pizzas, you know what I mean? But we're not a pizza place. We're not a wing place. But we do have home fries. I mean, a lot of people order that, but mainly it's just the regular fries. Other than those three things, everything else is made fresh. Buy in the morning, Agustin. And if we run out, we make more throughout the day, which we usually do run out of stuff.
So like when you live by yourself?
Actually, Israel is living with me right now.
Okay. So
a couple bachelors.
Izzy, you're the roommate, bro. Besides the restaurant, can he cook?
Yeah, he's the type to, like, at 2 a.m, he'll start a brisket.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is.
Well, I mean, most people do, because you smoke it?
He'll get the ganas to cook.
Yeah, like all of a sudden is what he means. Like all of a sudden, if I have something there, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know where. If we're not doing anything, I'm going to do that. The other day, I forgot what we were doing. It was like maybe 3 a.m, and I told him, I'm going to make a salsa. It'll relax me. So I made a salsa.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, and then I had everybody coughing and, you know.
Who does that, bro?
I do that. But so everybody that knows, if you're going to be with me or be around me like Israel, you're going to gain weight. You're going to gain weight. So.
Joey said Isaias is a bad mother.
Yeah, there you go. I was just about to put that on the.
I appreciate that, Joey.
On the thing here.
I'm only going to get better. In a good way.
You say is you when you cook, do you cook for like, some people they cook for, they only know how to cook for like a lot of people, or you just cook for yourself.
No, hombre, dude, it's a veces, I'm learning somewhat to learn, portion size and everything. But dude, usually ask Israel, I'll cook.
You cook a meal on Monday and y'all still eating it on Thursday?
Yeah, it's like I'll cook for 10 people all at once, and it's just because I like what I'm doing, you know what I mean? It's the same thing like music. I really found a passion for cooking this past year. And it's funny because, I'm a musician, but the thing is, that's what I did with the time I had at home. It's like, and it's a good attribute to have. The way I look at things, the more attributes you have throughout life, the more things you learn, the better you are as a person.
When you guys are on the road, bro, is it on the bus? Can y'all cook or no?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up, because there's, besides the drum competition, there's also a cooking competition. I've never really had the chance to cook on the bus, and when we were on the road, I wasn't cooking as much, so I wasn't as good. I will beat all of them right now. That's just me. But back then, my dad was the main one to cook. He was the main one to cook, and he would pull crap out of his hat. It's like, he made one time fideo con carne. It's like out of nowhere. It's like, how the hell did you do that? Joey was freaking out. Ask Joey about it. He'll probably commented about it.
Yeah, well, we know he hasn't been. He didn't watch the whole thing, Joey, because what he wanted me to tell you about. When I tell you how humble I thought you were when I saw thousands of people and you were grinding, you were working. Okay. So he missed that part. But yeah,
if he's watching, he'll comment about that fideo. Like, he freaked out. It's like, how the hell did you do this? Do we have all this stuff here? So it's like, my dad was the one to cook. Brian, I'll give it to him because I never cooked, but he made hot dogs one time. And, me and Brian have that type of relationship. You know what I mean? We mess with each other. But I mean, come on, dude. He says those hot dogs are badass, right? They're badass.
The best hot dogs I ever had.
Did you heat it up a weenie? You know what I mean? You didn't even steam the bun or nothing. It was like, it is Mia? Okay.
Who's hitting them up?
Sorry, my dad.
No, dale, play it.
Okay, let me give a little backstory on this. Let me see if I know it.
He says before you play the song, because I'm gonna forget the question. Tell me. That you're local here in San Antonio, man. Do you and your brother ever say you go to North Star, you go to somewhere? Are you two where people bother you, or they kind of give you the stare, like maybe it's him, maybe it's not him?
I get, when people recognize me, they come up to me. I don't think I have an intimidating look, even though some people say I do. But I'm an easygoing guy.
Well, it's what I'm saying, though. Like, when you come around San Antonio or, like, in the South Texas, where you guys are really known, right?
Yeah.
And I would think that you can't just, like, I always see Joey, man. He's always here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Hey, el vato shots puro allá. What is it by the what over there by Fiesta, Texas?
La Cantera and
La
everything.
Cantera. All those fancy places. He don't shop over here at the Forum, bro. That dude shops puro fancy. So people recognize you, bro, and they come and
I mean, it's not something that's crazy. You know what I mean? I still gotta work at it. In order to get to that level, you gotta work at it, and I'm working on it. But it's more so like people recognize me, and then they'll say, "Are you that guy?" You know what I mean? When how can I put it? When we're gigging and stuff like that, yeah, people notice me more because we do shows, we go live on Facebook, we do interviews, we have pictures out there and everything. So it's more like that. It depends on the time, you know what I mean? Because we did go I remember whenever we were gigging, we went for about 3-4 weeks without gigging one time because there just wasn't gigs. And I bet you around that time, nobody recognized me. I don't remember anybody saying, "Hey, you're, Isaias," whatever. But if we're gigging and stuff and we're, being relevant on social media, yeah, people will recognize us.
Dale, bro.
Okay, this song right here, we're actually gonna do it. I don't know if we're going to redo it, but we're going to release a version of it that we did because it's a song by Juan Treviño. Se llama Eres Mía, Solo Mía. We had it back in 2016, actually. 2016, 2017, and we did it. There's actually like maybe 4 or 5 versions that we have of it because we practiced it so much. We just never got around to actually recording it in the studio except for the version that's going to come out, which was more like a practice or a demo, you know what I mean? But another band actually recorded it. They beat us to the punch. So we're not gonna redo it. We're just gonna release what we have. You know what I mean? Just so people hear it with the version that we have. Let me see if I remember it though. think it was there. Disculpa si me veo confundido. No puedo controlar mis sentimientos. Yo nunca me había enamorado. Si de algo estoy seguro es que te amo. Me paso reviviendo el primer beso. Aunque fue tan sencillo, fue tan tierno. Y nos cubría un manto de estrellas. Nos arrulló la brisa y la marea. Y nunca dudes de mí y de lo que siento por ti. Si el cielo nos mandó su bendición, fuera un testigo la luna y el sol. Eres mía, solo mía, realidad y fantasía, un cometa de alegría que vino a alumbrar mi vida. Yo soy tuyo, solo tuyo, tu guardián y tu escudo. Lo mejor que me ha pasado es que tú estés a mi lado. Tú eres mía y yo soy tuyo. Cuánto te amo. Así va. You like it?
Dude, it's got like a little catchy. It's catchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some songs.
And believe it or not, that song, sorry, but that song, it's a different style, man, the way we did it. Porque no es bolero, it's not a cumbia, it's not, you know that style. It's more like bachata, the way we did it. And you'll hear it whenever
Bachata?
Yeah, it's more like that style.
Oh, yeah. Hell, I can do some bachata, man.
Yeah.
I got some hits for
call
some
Romeo
bachata.
for the Romeo Santos for the remix.
Isaias, you when you playing these songs, man, and I want to ask you because I know people on radio wouldn't ask you this, right? Mm-hmm. But is there some songs that they either request or like when you're up there, you're just like, man, no le voy a dar ganas, right? Like I'm not gonna give him. It's just like, man, this song again, right?
Not really.
Do you get to that point sometimes? You think?
Not really. The good thing about Joey, especially whenever he first started, he changed the songs.
He spunked it up. Big time,
you know what
bro.
I mean? Like I remember I was actually on the drums for a little bit with Masizzo, and
chingas or something you haven't done.
I did everything
oh
except for accordion because I don't know how to play. But whenever I was playing drums, it's like I was playing to the songs. You know what I mean? Like the way they were recorded, and that's the way usually the drummers that would come in, that's how they would play them. Joey, being the drummer, the type of drummer that he is, the type of musician that he is, he didn't only just play to the songs, but he reinvented them. You know. Because we were doing the same arrangements for, since back then.
Right.
And he came in and he changed them a little. He didn't necessarily change them. He made them better. He made them better because, and I remember after we finished the first song that we ever practiced, which was Te Quiero Tanto, Joey went like, and he said it, he went like this and he's like, hold up. That shit was bad or whatever. And whatever he said, right? You know what I mean? In his own head. My dad said, I never thought I'd hear those songs sound like that. And what it is, it's that Joey brings freshness. You know what I mean? It's modernized. He modernized the songs. These songs are freaking, 20 years old, 20, 25 years old. You know what I mean? Or no, 20 years old. They're 20 years old. So it's like to be able to get those songs and make them not new, but make them modern. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what he did. So in the time that we were gigging, before the pandemic, I never felt like that. Maybe once or twice when it came to when we would have to play another song, twice throughout the night because somebody else wanted it again or whatever. But it was never like, nah, no le voy a dar bien. It's like, I always had that in my head. You got, if you're going to be on stage, give it your all, man. Joey has said it countless times too. I don't care if there's 50 people or 5,000 people. It's like, I'm gonna play the way I play, and I'm gonna flip sticks. He's gonna do all the shit he does. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is. You gotta give people their money's worth. Whoever's there.
I tell you, and I refer back because that's the last time that I think I don't know if when y'all played at the park over here in San Antonio somewhere. I don't know which one was first. The one at the rodeo at Midnight Rodeo.
I'm trying to remember.
Bro, Midnight Rodeo. When I heard Joey back there, that was the first. That would have been the first time that I heard him. Like I told you before, man. Me and my wife were just like, wow. It just brought. I don't know if spunk is a word, but it did. Like it just sounded crispy, bro. Like everything was tap tap. Like, you know what I mean? And not knocking any of the other drummers because they were following the original music, right? Yeah. Joey just brought his little snatch to it. And I think it's cool, bro. What I thought was really, really cool, and I think you have a lot to do with this, is because you're younger, right? Bringing Joey, even though he's older, he doesn't act like an older guy, not in a bad way, right? He carries himself in a way younger than what he is. He had been around for a long time. He'd been around the music business for a long time. Yeah. So to hear him like in y'all's music, right? And then having you, he brought like a different vibe to Masizzo. Yeah. But that you were young, right? That you were young, it was I think it helped. Yeah. I think it and not saying that it wouldn't work, right? But if it was just, Brian and your dad, and then with Joey,
with another
singer, right? Yeah. Maybe could have, what do you call it? But I just think that that you being the young gun, being up front, and then bringing Joey with the snazzy drums that he brings, it just freaking melted together. Badass, dude.
Yeah, man. And the fact that we have pretty much the same mindset when it comes to how music should be. You know what I mean? I don't think without me, and I'm not getting a big head, but without me, Joey wouldn't have wanted to come. You know what I mean? And it's not because it's me, but because my dad. My dad agarró ánimo whenever I started singing. You know what I mean? That's why we did No Digas Que No. That's why we did Piérdete. That's why we started, gigging. We did the videos. Like, we started making noise. So that got Joey's attention, I believe. And bringing Joey in was a move that, honestly, I didn't see. I didn't see that happening at all. Like, I never thought. I remember I always saw him with his other bands, and it's like, he's badass, you know what I mean? So it's like, I never thought he was going to be over here. And then I heard that he got out. And I know the other drummer's name's Chato. I know him. He's a good guy. So I messaged him, congratulations on the gig, man. It's badass. So we had been in the talks for a good while to do. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Did
you need something? Do you believe that, bro?
Hey, that's a good wife right there.
She brought you water, him water. I'm talking to.
Oh, so then it's not a good wife.
I get the water. I didn't mean to cut you off,
it's
bro.
Okay. She'll see this later. No, you're good. So it was like we had been not necessarily talking to Joey, but he had heard that we wanted him to help us out in the studio because, like my dad said earlier, No Te Enamores, which is another song that one song that Joey recorded, he did Insuficiente as well. But that one was arranged with Joey in mind. And we had actually recorded it already, the same place we did Piérdete, No Digas Que No. You're good.
No, I'm trying to tell him the dog. We can hear.
Can y'all hear the dog?
I don't think they can, but
you can hear it.
We can hear it though.
There's a dog. He wants to be part of the interview.
The dog.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm texting you.
It's because I came downstairs.
Bumper. She brought you a small glass.
She did.
I don't know if
hey, there you go.
That's mine. So, where was I? Oh yeah, we had been talking about getting him in the studio because that song was specifically arranged for him, and we had already done it. We had a version, nomás que we didn't go to finish it. So whenever we were finally able to get with Joey to practice, which we practiced at a studio here in San Antonio at Music Ranch Studios, Raúl Sánchez, saludos para él. He let us use his place. Yeah, man, it's like we practiced, because we just wanted to jam out, see how it would sound. Brian asked him, "Are you working this weekend?" He said, "No, we had a gig in La Feria in the Valley." He went, did it, And actually, what Joey did before the gig, he made a post saying, I'm going to be filling in for Masizzo this weekend, sitting on the drums, this and that. Everybody got a hold of it. He was trending on Google, I remember. He was trending on Google, Joey Jams. So people started talking about it. He's the new drummer for Masizzo.
Watch out, Joey.
Yeah,
Trending on Google, bro.
So it's like people started saying, he's in the band. So we hadn't made an announcement. We hadn't said Joey was going to be there. We hadn't said Joey's going to be part of the band because we hadn't really talked about that. We did the gig. We talked afterwards. We had I don't know when the next gig was, but we talked to him, and then we finally made the announcement Joey's in the band. Having that element, what Joey brings, like I said earlier, it modernizes the band. Because, dude, my dad was talking about it the other day with me. It's hard. Masizzo started off kicking ass. They did. They brought a different element. They had a different style. They had a different singer. Back then the singers were loud and deep voices, and Johnny had a thin, light voice that appealed more to like I don't know, a different crowd, but it was a different style. Ching was a style when he sings, you know what I mean? So it was hard, and it is hard to be able to lose your singer and then continue on after that, have 4 or 5 singers in between, and then you go to me. It's like to revive that, you know what I mean? It's hard. But adding Joey in the band, I think, was the missing element when it came to making it something new while we're reviving it. You know what I mean? Because Masizzo, as time goes on, little by little, even more so, because we were on the right track and everything stopped, it's going to become this Masizzo. It's not going to become the old Masizzo. It's not going to be remembered as the old Masizzo.
You guys have developed to your own sound. Yeah. You've taken it. You started here, and your boundaries are endless right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's that I keep saying the same thing, Isaias, but literally, man, I mean, the sound was just amazing. I'm a fan of music. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of Tejano music. I'm a fan of Norteño music. And just to hear you guys was just, I really enjoyed it, man. I told Joey this. I told Mario, and I think somebody's Mario te mando saludos. He's watching.
What's up,
Shout
Mario?
out to Mario Marichalar.
Shout out to Mario Marichalar.
Y los Bravados del Norte.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I told Joey, man, and I want to tell you.
Yeah.
And you probably don't get to hear this, but to your dad, to Brian, to Joey, the whole group, being in the military, man, being from South Texas and being just from Texas in general, you don't really if you never leave here, you don't really realize how much culture that we have here in Texas, and it's our own, right? There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it anywhere else. Mm-hmm. We have our own music. It's ours. It belongs to us. Mm-hmm. We originated it, right? It's here. And when we would go places, and when I mean places, I mean like ugly places, right? Sometimes you would go out and you would just have the longest day, man. Probably the longest day of your life sometimes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might lose a couple of buddies. It's just a long day, man. It's draining, right? But I remember in 2004, I was in Ramadi, Iraq, and I was with my unit was 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, and we'd have some tough days, man. And the only thing that would ever make me calm was music. Mm-hmm. And not Masizzo in general, right? Of course, they're on my playlist, right? But it's just, I don't think musicians ever really get to hear that part. Like, music, people play music and it makes you feel good. Sometimes it makes you feel sad. Sometimes it just covers all feelings in life, right? Music covers all feelings in life. And our music is, I think, even more passionate than regular regular American pop music, right? I think there's more passion, more love in our music. And so, coming back from a long day, you would be amazed what y'all's music what y'all's music does for a service member, man. It reminds you that the world is still spinning. Two, what you know and what you love is still at home, right? And it just takes you back. It takes you away from where you're at. It takes you away from that reality of being there, of seeing whatever you had to see that day. It just takes you away, bro, and it puts you in another. And I'm saying this because that's the way I can relate to it, right? Other people watching, you can relate to music. You know, maybe you lost somebody you loved, and there's just a song. That's the way I related to music, and that's why I love music. Another crazy thing is that in the Marine Corps, right, Tejanos always found each other.
Yeah.
Always. You go to a beach, you can be in North Carolina, you can be in California, you can be in Japan, you can be in Hawaii. You find a beach. Nowadays, everybody has this. I mean, you can go, you can listen to whatever you want, right? Speaker. The minute you hear the accordion, you're like, hey, those are my people, right? You walk up like, hey, bro, where you from? Or usually I'm from the Valley. Yeah. I'm from San Antonio. I'm from Corpus, right? Well, I'm from Beeville. Yeah. Oh, bro, what's up? Cool. Hey, man, we're making carne asada here, whatever. Come on, man, bring. And then you become friends. Yeah. Right. So as a non-musician to a musician, I want to tell you that always remember that, like, you know, you're when you sing and you record, like, think about that sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Service members really, especially from here, right? That you really bring home to us. Yeah. You really, really, really bring home to us, you know, across the board. Hearing one song will just take you back.
Yeah, well, on that note, you know, thank you for that. But on your side, you know, it takes somebody very special, I don't even know how to put it, but to be able to say, I'm going to serve my country, I'm going to do my duty and protect my country. That's special, man. And there's no amount of words, no amount of actions, no amount of anything really that can really say thank you enough for the service that you've done, for the service that, you know, so many people have lost their lives. You know, the people that are still active, the people that are retired. It's like there's nothing really other than the, you know, 100% gratitude. You know, you can't do anything to really pay them back. You know what I mean? Right. And I just want to say, from my part, I know I can speak on these guys, but I have to thank you for your service, because if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for all the people that are active right now, the people from the past, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. You know what I mean? Because no matter what, there are threats out there. Always. You know, no matter what people think, you know, you are out there for a reason, and that's why we are the United States. That's why we are a country that is, you know, free. That we are able to. I can go down the street to the road. You know what I mean? To the gas station, to go buy whatever I want. You know, because I'm. Of course, there's bad people everywhere. Yeah, right. But you know, anywhere you go, there's gonna be bad people. But I don't have to worry about a freaking war zone breaking out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like, it's because of the work and the service that y'all have done that we are able to do what we do. And if that, you know, the work that we've done with music and we continue to do helps, then that's, you know, that makes it that even much more better. No, you know, definitely. And I thank you for those comments, because we cannot thank y'all enough. Thank you, and man. And all the troops out there, all the people that have lost loved ones overseas, you know, it's thank y'all so much, because without y'all, we can't be doing what we're doing right now. Y'all are in God's hands, and y'all put yourselves in those positions, in those positions, because there's so many different places y'all go to protect us. And thank y'all so much.
Thank you for those words, man. We have a lot of your viewers on, right? I want to do my own plug, right? Do it, man. This is your show. So check it out. I do the show on Facebook for all the people watching for the first time. I do the show every Wednesday on Facebook. That's where most of the fans that I get come from. But all the shows that I do, as soon as I'm done with the show, I upload them to my YouTube channel. You can find my YouTube channel right there. It's easy. It's Bumper, like the bumper of a car. Gomez. Look it up on YouTube. Subscribe to it, man. Share it. I need some more subscribers so we can start going live on YouTube and get this thing going where I want it to go. Before we call it quits, I think
Already?
Well, we can keep going. We can keep going. Your brother's like, hey, nah, hold up.
We still got him next, man.
No, Izzy, is there a song that anybody set you up that you want him to play one last good classic or a? What do you think?
If you want to do one of the new ones,
Which new ones?
the 6 that you have.
No, not those.
If you want to do a new one, you're gonna have to end it with an old one.
I don't know them that well.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, I don't know them that well. I can do.
Man, I'm trying to think which one you haven't played because you played all my. You played all my.
I like that one.
Which one?
What's a hit?
A hit.
A hit. I don't know.
There's a lot of them.
How about I do a Ramon song?
Hey, you know what, dude? How about you do?
You want me to do that one?
Do that one.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Wacky Wednesday studio right now. Yeah, we'll end with. We're gonna do two jams. We're gonna do two jams before we leave. But one that I played a little short clip, but he's here in the studio, and it's one of my favorite songs. It's not theirs, but
Intocables, we can
yeah,
say.
it's Intocables. But dude,
Yeah, this is actually my dad on the bass. That song, my dad's on the bass on that song.
So it is. It's part of it.
it's
It's in your
part- it's
bloodline,
part of
bro.
us.
It's in your
It's
bloodline.
part
It's
of
part
us.
of you, man.
Why am
So-
I stuck back here?
Dale. Oh, you know why?
There we go.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready? Te quiero demasiado para olvidarte en unas horas, porque me haces daño, porque me dejas ahora que no me ves muriendo. Mi alma se acaba y no puedo vivir sin calma. Pero no te vayas, no me dejes sin tu amor. Necesito sentir de nuevo el fuego de tu pasión. Pero no te vayas, no seas cruel con mi corazón. Pero no te vayas, no me dejes un triste adiós. Pero no te vayas. Was that good?
Dude, that was freaking. I can say it. That was badass, bro. That was badass. So we're gonna play one. We're gonna play one more, a classic Masizzo song. And with after that, we'll say our goodbyes and we'll call it a night. So, Isaias.
Estoy seguro que me estás extrañando y sé que lloras por no estar en mis brazos. Estoy seguro que estás en la ventana y que si toco corres a abrir la puerta. Dejemos ya ese pleito, no tiene caso sufrir. Sabemos que separados ya no podemos vivir. Estoy seguro que te sientes solita y sé que mueres por tener mis caricias. Estoy seguro que también te quiero y ya no puedo estar más sin tus besos. Estoy seguro que te sientes solita y sé que mueres por tener mis caricias. Estoy seguro que también te quiero y ya no puedo estar más sin tus besos.
Damn it, son. That was awesome. That was freaking awesome, man. Isaias, I want to thank you, brother, again for driving out here, for coming and hanging out with me. But I'm going to tell you, man, I really think your fans really, when you were sharing it on y'all's pages, I think this is something that people really wanted to watch.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? No script.
Nada.
We're not talking about what's next for Masizzo. What's, you know what I mean?
That's for the next interview.
It's for the next interview.
3 months.
Three months. You're gonna have be looking out for
foreshadowing.
Izzy's. Yeah, Izzy's gonna be on here doing his show. But I really, honestly, like I told your dad, I really looking forward to getting out to Garcia's and maybe setting up. We will get together soon. Like let's do it soon. Get out there, get together, and make a setting and give a badass unplug to all the Masizzo fans, man. I want you from a fan, right? An old man, a fan of music, and a faithful fan of Masizzo. Dude, you keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep changing the way you've been, the way y'all been changing the music. It's amazing. People want to hear it. You know, our music isn't dying. It's still here. It's not going anywhere, right? It just goes through changes, man. It just goes through changes. And I really want you to just keep doing what you're doing, bro, because y'all are gonna go far. I promise you, man. Just keep sticking to the path that you're going with, and you're gonna go far. You guys, both of you, man. Both of y'all come from a long line of great musicians. In over and over again tonight, you showed me really your mom and dad, how they raised a great man.
Thank you, man.
Right, and thank you, dude. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Anybody out there watching, man. I don't just do stars, right? I do anybody. If you ever want to be come on the show and talk about whatever you want to talk about, hit me up, message me. I'd glad to put you on the calendar. I'll pencil you in.
You should bring Agustin, our cook, man.
Dude, hey, bro, I
don't think he'll do it.
You won't do it?
No. I don't think he'll do it.
So before I get my final words, man, I'll give you the mic. You want to give some shout outs? You want to say anything about the show? Anything,
yeah, man,
bro?
I want anything. Thank you, man. You know, that it's todos al contrario. It's like this is like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, it's an opportunity for me, for you, for Israel. You know, we're all he's getting experience here, I'm getting experience here, you're getting experience here for your show. This is something great what you're doing, man. It really is, because it's fun. You know, like you know, you talk about the radio, it's scripted, it's usually the same questions. This is, you know, this is todo, I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's todo el chile, man. It's like así mero, así como está. It's like, you know, however it comes out, it's like we're just hanging out, we're talking, you know what I mean? So it's badass, dude. And I want you to keep doing that. And I want to ask you this question: do you plan to keep on doing this and growing it?
I think you know, people ask me that all the time, like, when are you gonna stop? When everybody goes back to work, what are you gonna do? You stop and everything goes back to, because, you know, I got a lot of people watching just because COVID, like, there's really, people are stuck at home. But you said something earlier that I always say: if there's one viewer or 1,000 viewers, if we're reaching somebody, it's good, right? Mm-hmm. It's something I like to do. I look forward to doing this every single week. And it's just me, man. I really like to talk to people. I like to really get to know people. And I honestly say yes. I really like that people can hear somebody's story, whether it's a musician, whether it's a guy who came, you know, across 4 different countries to get here. You know, everybody has a story, right? Yeah. And that's kind of really what I base my show on. Like, everybody has a story. Everybody has a background, and you never know, somebody could be watching, and you say the right what they needed to hear for that day.
Exactly.
It makes it worth it, right? So I do continue. I am gonna continue the show,
and you should,
as long as I can. And who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get picked up and we'll do something. We'll do something bigger, and you can say, dang, Bump, remember when we were in your little office / studio? Now you're here. So again,
you just gotta keep at it, man, because this is, like I'm gonna say it again, it's something special, man. It's something badass for anybody to come on to to watch. It's fun, it's interesting. It's always gonna be interesting because, like you said, you have all these different types of people that are gonna come on.
Yep,
it's worth it, man. And
hey,
again, thank you, man.
It's not easy. It's not easy giving 52 people a year, bro, to come out here and talk to you. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's not. It's not so easy. But again, he say yes. Izzy, thank you, man. Gracias, mil gracias. Shout out to Garcia's there in Pearsall. If you guys want some great food, please stop by. You go 7 days a week, right?
7 days a week.
7 days a week. So stop by, man. The steak, the enchiladas, the burgers are off the chain. My personal favorite. I like the pickles. I like the fried pickles. So those of y'all that were just joining us for the first time, again, man, please, when we get off, go to my YouTube channel, look up Bumper Gomez, like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. It's going to take me a little bit to get tonight just because it's in 2 parts. I'm going to learn how to put these 2 videos together and upload it together as one. But who knows? I might put part 1 and part 2. It makes it easy. But thank you, guys. Thank you so much to Grupo Masizzo. I look forward to seeing you guys on the road.
Can I say something?
Dale, go.
You reminded me. We have a couple shows coming up. Oh. Yeah. One is going to be in Victoria, Texas at the Memorial Bash. We're actually going to be there in person. They're throwing the festival this year. And the second is actually going to be a virtual concert for Sombrero Fest, which that one's in Brownsville. We're doing those videos on Friday. We're doing them there in Pearsall. We're gonna shoot 4 or 5 videos and songs, and we're gonna.
So Sombrero Fest is gonna be virtual.
Virtual, yeah. Se lo vamos a entregar a los del festival, and they're gonna put. I'm not sure who else is gonna be like part of the concert, the virtual concert, but we're one of the bands that's invited. So yeah, we have those 2 shows coming up. I forgot the date. But just be up to date to our Facebook, the Masizzo Facebook, and we'll have all the information.
So you have Facebook, you have, what else? Grupo Masizzo?
We got everything. We have our Facebook. It's under Grupo Masizzo. We have our Instagram, which is, what is it? Grupo Masizzo. We have our Twitter, which is Grupo_Masizzo. And then I have my personal stuff, which is, my personal page is Isaias Ramirez. My fan page is Isaias Ramirez. Isaias Ramirez. Instagram, I have 2. Which my personal one is Air5622. The other one is Isaias Ramirez. And then I have, Twitter and all that stuff. You can find all that stuff.
Dude, how do you... There's no way I could be like, I don't know which one I'm on, but I'm
like, what did he say? They're going to pause. I have Snapchat too and Cash App. We got Cash App.
You should have told me. We could have done it up here.
Cash App is a good one.
Hey, next time, you know what? Set up a Cash App for Masizzo, dude, so we can do a virtual.
Hey, that's a good idea.
We can do a virtual tip jar when we do the show. Hey, you know what I mean? You pay to get into a baile. It won't hurt to
there you go.
to give some tips. I'm sure the guys would greatly appreciate that. But guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode. Man, this is gonna go down in the books is one of the ones I really loved doing. The fact that you came in here and played live music is something else. So
tell your wife thank you.
I will. Guys, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, live from the Wacky Wednesday studio here in San Antonio, Texas. And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. sharp. Tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share my YouTube, Bumper Gomez. Y'all have a good night. Peace.